Hey, everybody. Hey, this is Quentin Samuels, aka Mr. Q, and welcome to Mr. Q's Plugged In. Hey, tonight we have an awesome show for you guys. Of course, you know the branding coach is back. She'll be in with us in a little bit here. But right now, we're going to go ahead and we're going to do our Black Business Spotlight. We're going to start off a little different. We're going to do our Black Business Spotlight. Hey, I want you to share the video. I want you to like if you're on YouTube. I want you to share the video. If you're on Facebook, I want you to share the video. If you see me on LinkedIn, I want you to share the video. Remember, we got to get everybody plugged in. All right. So right now we're going to call in Mr. Nicky Bell. He's the owner of R&B, I believe, Finance. And we're about to call him in so we can talk to him about his finance company here. Ladies and gentlemen, here's Mr. Nicky Bell. How you doing, Nicky?
Hey, how you doing, Mr. Q? Put me in the game, coach. I'm ready.
Doing
Good.
all right, man. Hey,
I'm doing all
so
right.
so tell us about yourself, man. Tell us about yourself, a little bit about yourself.
All right. Well, I started this company. Well, I started working on it 3 years ago. I started from scratch. I had no earthly idea how to start a business. I just got online and I started studying. So first, I learned how to do taxes.
Mm-hmm.
I started with my family, and then I learned how to do credit. But I had a little saying the whole time I was studying postponing starting a business, and my wife told me that I had something with the credit. But
Yeah,
I had a little old crazy saying I was studying saying, no, I'm waiting for taxes. Taxes is my stake. Credit is gonna be like some peas, and I'm gonna sell insurance. That'll be the potatoes.
yeah.
So I had a crazy idea, but she was like, she pushed me. So I ended up signing like 2 or 3 clients, and of course it was family members, because only family go trust you with their credit
Yeah, they
without
don't
proving.
they the only one.
Yes, sir. So I started with 3 people, and 4 months later, we got 22 clients. We got 3 people ready to get ready for a home. I've already approved one person for a vehicle, and
What?
everything's looking up right now.
Oh man, that's a
Sure.
blessing. So tell us about your business. What does it
Okay.
entail?
Yeah. Basically, I want to bring finances to people that look like me and talk like me.
Mm-hmm.
When I was growing up, it's no one knew anything about finances that looked and talked like me. I'm gonna be honest. And a statistic that'll blow you away is that 1 in 5 people are to have very poor credit. So that means 4 out of 5 people are walking around with what is considered fair to good credit. And out of 20 of my friends, 2 of them got good credit.
Oh wow,
You following where I'm going?
I get you.
As I was growing up, it was no one to teach me or none of my friends anything about finance. I didn't learn nothing about credit till I was 30 years old. And I wanted to start a business that I could be passionate about. And I love the credit repair business. I love the tax business. I love to help people. I love to help people get loans. It's one thing to make money, but it's an amazing thing to make money and do something you love. You know.
So you were telling me something before we started, the difference
Mhm.
between the way you do your credit
Mhm.
repair versus the way a lot of people do. A lot of people just keep taking money to change this number, to change that number. So how do you actually perform your business, which is different from other people?
I've scaled my credit repair company. It's built for 50 to 100 clients at a time because I want to make it cheap, and I want to recycle you in 2 to 3 to 4 months. Even if your credit is not quite repaired, what we do, I set you on the path. I tell you everything. I set up the correct accounts for you moving forward, and all you have to do is maintain your bills. My goal is to keep you maybe 3 to 4 months. The average credit repair company wants you 6 to 9 months, a year. We start at $100 and it's $50 a month. We're trying to help as many people as we can and make a little money while doing it.
Okay. So do you go in with the customer and kind of break down their what am I trying to say? Because I
The
did I
credit
did
report,
I pulled credit reports back when I did
mhm.
loans, but do you go in and kind of break it down and say, hey, this is what you should pay off first, or this is what you should do, or this is
Yes,
what
sir.
you should do? Uh-huh.
We do the full consultation. So first thing what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take it, I'm gonna analyze it. And then what I do, I scrub it. I basically take out the accounts harm to the report because
Hmm.
necessarily because a account is inactive doesn't mean that it's even harming you. It could be helping you. So the
Uh-huh.
key with credit repair is to be able to read the report and read what it's telling you and not do harm to your client
Right.
because you can work back also.
Okay. So
So once I scrub it, then we get on the phone and I help you set up the correct accounts. Because the thing is to make your credit file full.
right.
Yes, sir. And once we get that goal, and once I can pretty much, I guess, set you a sail on a straight course, I let you go. I don't continue to milk you for that monthly fee.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's good, man, because like I said, a lot of people see these things and they it's just, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just one of those things where a lot of people do it, but they don't take out the time with the customer.
Yes, it's a real mistrust in the industry. The first thing that my clients tell me is they like the way that I communicate. You can text me Q at 10 o'clock at night. I'm gonna text back. I talk credit. You talk to me, I'm gonna talk back. I just want to bring that personal touch. I love what I do. This is my baby. R&B Financial is my baby, and I take care of my baby.
Man, that's good. So, uh, you also said that you do taxes, correct?
Yes, sir.
So kind of
Yes,
tell
sir.
us, tell us, your tax steps to doing taxes, and what type of what am I trying to say? If you do loans, some people do the advanced loans and all of that stuff.
Mhm.
So just
Yes,
kind
sir.
of tell us about that.
Yeah, we got the Easy Advance through Republic Bank. Yeah, they handle most of the banking. Uh we we're just your basic run of the mill tax company, except we care. We go in and we get it done. You can book through my website, through my appointments. I guess taxes is a lot more. I guess I'm telling you, Texas was supposed to be my baby, but the credit has become my baby. Texas is something we do and we do it well. I started off with Jackson Hewitt.
Oh, okay. So
And
you
then
got
worked
you
up
got a
on my
lot of
own.
training under your belt.
Yes, sir. I got a little bit. I got more because I started with my family taxes. I've been doing my family taxes maybe 7 years. TurboTax style.
Man, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. So you didn't just go into this business with oh man, I'm gonna
No,
just
sir.
do some taxes, because like I said, I know a lot of people, they just decide they want to do something and they just jump in and do it with blindly.
No,
Um,
sir.
and another thing is, I'm gonna tell you this: it's good to see a black man who is working legitimately and also building on the business side as finances, because a lot of us, we don't want the finances, we just want to make enough money to buy what finances can buy, if you get what
Yes,
I'm
sir.
saying. So
My ultimate goal is to break my family's curse. Man, my family don't have any money in it. When I grew up, my relatives didn't take vacations, you know,
wow.
just little simple things like that. But my kids are gonna know about finances. My kids are gonna own homes because I'm gonna take the time to make sure that because
And
we're building R&B Financial the correct way.
that's a good thing, man. And right now, like you said, you started out kind of, and which is good. You started out at your house, because a lot of times people, the first thing they do is, I'm gonna get an office. Now I'm gonna start a business,
Mhm.
which is backwards, man. Which is backwards. Most people right now, where I'm at, I see a lot of people, they'd be like, hey man, I'm gonna go find me a big building, and I'm gonna start me a television studio. I ain't gonna lie, I ain't trying to, you know, I don't try to throw shade on other people who do it, but I'm right
Mhm.
here. I'm in my bedroom and my office in my
Yes,
in
sir.
my house right now. But a lot of people have went out and
Mhm.
they built these big buildings. But are you going to uh bring in enough residual income to maintain the business, the
Exactly.
building that you have? So with you starting at
Exactly.
home, what you do is you save, you build. Then you may say, well,
Yeah.
shoot, we got to expand because it's getting too big in here. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? We getting too big.
See, because the goal is to be able to keep my services low and affordable.
Hmm.
Because and then some people like to come to a place where the owner actually know their name. Where you're not just a number.
I
Where your
see.
where your dollars are really being put to use and are really appreciated.
I see what you're saying, and you got to be personable. That's another thing that I think she probably hit on that tonight, but B Michelle talked about that, being personable, being approachable,
Yeah.
especially as black people, because us and our people, you know. So, but what we're gonna do here, because we got to get into the show, we're going to go to your website here, and you can give everybody the information. Let's share your website. Or did you say you rather use your Facebook page, or you get more traffic on your Facebook page?
I get more traffic on my Facebook page, and I'm more active on it because you know I can access it at any time. And also my wife is administrator on it also. So we're covered.
Well, that's a great thing. So your Facebook
and
page,
you can book appointments on my Facebook page also.
And so it's basically the same thing. It's R&B financials, tax preparation, as well as it is on your website, just like your Facebook page.
Yes, sir. So, add max my refund 6384.
At max my refund.
Yes, sir. 6384.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching and you need your taxes done, because some of y'all about to go ahead and spend them stimulus. Them stimulus is gone. It wasn't but $600.
Oh yeah, we also do small and loans.
That's what I was asking you, man.
We got the advanced loans also, but we also have the loans through interest. I always get their name twisted up, but we got a partnership with them. For if you got a 650 to 680 credit score with no collateral, make $30,000 a year, 20,000 to 400,000.
Oh wow!
That's why we're the home of the $400,000 loan.
Okay, well, hey man, look, y'all hear that? Now everybody don't be trying to get no $400,000 loan, because you
gotta pay that back.
You gotta pay that money back, and if you get that money, you run off with it, it's gonna be some problems, because this is a big guy. And if he run it like I used to run it back in the day, we used to go to people's houses and knock on the door. Hey, look, we got our money, man.
And hey, we not doing that no more though, Q. We registered. I'm registered with the IRS for my taxes. Man, they gonna expunge, not expunge. What you call it? Litigate some stuff on you. I'm registered with the credit council for my credit, so I can't put none of that in jeopardy. I've been training 3 years for this, Q.
Well, hey, look at here. That's a good job, man. And look, you professional, man. I appreciate it. Hey, I'm gonna direct some people to you. Let people know about your company, ladies and gentlemen. There you have it. R&B Financials, tax preparation. Also, they do advanced loans. Also, they do regular loans. But you have to. They're the home of the $400,000 loan.
Yes, sir.
So also remember, we gotta go into our black business people. We are here. We are here. You just have to know that we are here. So thank you again, Mr. Nicky Bell. I'm gonna post your information up on my site. I'm gonna make a little ad for it throughout the shows to come. And we appreciate you, man. And we about to bring in our.
Hey, let me say this before you go, Q.
Okay, go ahead.
About black businesses, it's a misconception that black businesses have bad customer service. Come to R&B Financial, and we'll prove you wrong.
And I can tell that, man, by the way you talk. I can tell.
Yes,
sir. That's a plus. That is a plus. So glad to have you tonight, man. And I'm like I said, I'm gonna be sharing your information, and you'll probably see me share it on my Facebook page and on the Mr. Q Plugged In site. So man, hey, keep it plugged in, man. We appreciate you.
Yes, sir. I'm plugged in, and thank you for having me, Q.
Yes, sir. No problem.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to go to a quick break here, and we're going to have our special guest for this first hour. And that's Miss B. Michele, the branding coach.
Would you like to learn phlebotomy? Do you need to improve your current skills as a phlebotomist? Do you need to continue your education or training for a quick job? Then Elite Art of Phlebotomy Training is the place for you. We offer a 4-week training for those who want to become a certified phlebotomist. We also offer a 2-day fast track workshop for those who might already know how to draw or maybe just want a refresher course. At Elite Art of Phlebotomy, the goal is to provide both excellent phlebotomy training and patient care to all students to build their confidence in professional skills that is much needed in the healthcare field. Students will gain valuable experience in drawing blood as well as understanding the concept of blood collections. Our primary goal is to help students become skilled and exceptional with their art. We also provide CPR training for adults and children. So if you're interested in becoming a certified phlebotomist, call us now at 346-255-2192. That's 346-255-2192. Classes begin the first Tuesday of every month in Houston, Texas, and the first Saturday of every month in Bryan, Texas. Payment plans are available, and we also follow CDC guidelines. So contact Elite Art of Phlebotomy Training today, where phlebotomy is more than a skill, it's an art.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. And we have back with us Miss B. Michele, branding coach. Hey, B, how you doing?
How are you? How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Staying busy trying to keep from sweating with all this light I got on around. I got a lot of light going on right now.
Yeah, you lit up over there.
I know I'm bright. That's that Indian red. Yeah.
You know what? You are on a podcast.
So how are you feeling today? I heard that you were a little under the weather. You had a migraine last week. We were supposed to come on and
yes, I was. It was horrible. It was horrible.
I can imagine.
I had a migraine for like 4 days.
Oh,
it was really bad.
So you didn't have a Rona though, did you?
No, I did not have the Rona. You know what? You play too much.
I'm just asking, man.
You play too much.
Asking. You know, that's the first thing people ask. You got the Rona?
I know, right?
No.
It's crazy because you can still get sick from other stuff. So I don't even understand.
You sure can, because look here. My wife, I can't even pronounce the stuff again. Sinus, whatever.
Yeah, you had a lot.
Yeah, sinus infection. And it caused a little sneeze and a little cough and whatever. But I'm gonna tell you, she sprayed and prayed. She sprayed everything. So
really?
I'm like, I'm glad. Hey, if I did have COVID, I'd be in a mess because I'd be choked up because we make sure that's how we are. I mean, but you got to be like that, you know?
Yeah.
So we came back today to bring you back because we matter of fact, we really wish we're going to talk about it. But if I can keep you in like a rotation, a monthly rotation with new information, because a lot of people waiting.
Yeah.
So what did you in the past since the last time we talked? You brought in like some guidelines. You wanted to actually talk about some specific subjects as far as business go.
Yes, I feel like so it's crazy because there's just been a lot happening just in business and with our country and where we are and a lot of shenanigans. But I wanted to really talk about two main things today. So number one, kind of get into a little bit of, I know we got this new EIDL and PPP money and stuff coming down the pike. So I wanted to kind of talk about a few items on how to prepare so that way you are ready, because the application process hasn't opened up yet, but it's about to for the SBA, the PPP, and the EIDL with the EIDL loan. So it's some things that you might want to make sure you got time. You got a little bit of time just to make sure that you have all your ducks in a row. If you did not apply last time and you want to apply this time, or even if you did apply, but maybe you still didn't have some of the things done. So I just wanted to kind of talk about, these are just foundational things that any business owner should have. So, and here's the thing, I said I was going to make this post and I'm probably going to make it after we finish, but I always like to preface anytime that I talk about business development and brand development, that I'm very in tune with my target audience and who that is. So anything that I say is for serious business owners or entrepreneurs who are really looking to build and grow their brand.
Right.
It's not for people that's still side hustling, still trying to figure it out, still playing double dutch with their business. It's not for none of them.
Yeah, like that young man we just talked to, he got it together. Like yeah.
It's for people, the things that I discuss on a level of business and brand development is for people that are looking for the information, who want the information, who are really want to apply it in order to really build a solid foundation for their business and their brand. So I always like to preface that because I get into a lot of conversations with people and I always have to say, hey, whatever works for you, this might not be for you. I'm talking straight.
So you got to be honest
to people, because there are just some things that if you're really looking to really scale and grow to a 6-7 figure business, there's just some things you got to do in the beginning.
Yeah.
First of all, you know, I mean, it is what it is. So you kind of gotta, you want to start out on the right foot, put your best brand forward, you know?
Right.
So, so just want to talk about some foundational things, and then we can get into like the actual brand stuff that I sent you.
Okay, let's do it.
You're gonna jump right in. You're gonna jump right in.
Well, the reason I'm saying is because I know last time you gave so much information, but I think I kind of talked a little bit over a lot, and a lot of the people were asking questions, and they were like, "Well, hey, what did she?" I literally had people inboxing me, and I said, "Well, you can contact her." Well, they asking me because I'm right here, but I'm like, you can contact her. And you know, people tend to get nervous sometimes when, you know.
I know. Tell them don't be scared. Like, come on, you jump in the DMs. It's okay. We're talking about business. So, or they can all look, and I have on my Facebook page and IG, all of my business contact information is there. So it's email, phone number, even if they don't want to necessarily inbox, they can always call. Or email. So yes, and I welcome the questions. But no, we'll definitely I'll just kind of jump right into it. So there's just a couple things that when you get ready to start a business that really should be in place. If you're starting this business and you really already know, hey, you set some goals, you really want your stuff set up properly, you want to do the right thing out the gate, then there are some things that you should do. Like number one, I got this little checklist, like the one that I sent to you, is you should have a DBA or LLC or both. Mm-hmm. Now there's a video I have on my YouTube channel. So anybody that's watching this, you go to my YouTube channel. I'll send Q the link and he can post it in the comment area. And there's a video on my YouTube channel that talks about the difference between a DBA and the LLC. So when you're getting ready to start a business, a DBA will suffice. But you always have to remember that the purpose of a DBA is just that. It's doing business as. It just says that you get to do business in a different name other than the one your mother gave you.
Right.
So if you're going to do business as yourself, you don't need a DBA for that because you're you. But if you're going to manipulate your name in any type of way, then you should get a DBA to do business in that name. And that's exactly all that it does. Now, when you get this DBA, you go to wherever your local county clerk, courthouse, or whatever the process is for your county and your city. Typically, it's at the county courthouse. Now, I always recommend to my clients that at bare minimum, that you definitely get an LLC because you want your personal assets to be protected. So depending on the industry that you're in, you also have to look at your industry because not every industry is not the same. You may want to go the corporation route. And that means that you really should speak to someone, an accountant, a tax preparer, to decide what's really the best option for you. But typically, an LLC is really doable for most industries. So like health and beauty, coaching and consulting. Here's the thing, you can always change later on as you grow. But the LLC, what it does is helps protect your personal assets. If anything happens and you happen to find yourself in litigation through the course of your business. Okay. But like I say, you can always change to an S Corp or a C Corp as your business decides to grow. Or you may, depending on what you're doing in your business, you may need to start out in that capacity. It just all depends on what your goals are and who's all involved. One thing. So the first thing is setting the foundation, because here's the thing. I always go back. These are the foundational items to establish your business, but they also have a direct reflect on your brand. And their brand is pretty much how people perceive you.
Right.
And what you put out there in the universe and how well, your clients align or what you do actually resonates with them. Some of these things, it just looks professional. It just looks better when you can say, Be Michele Enterprise versus just Be Michele, or, it just has a little better ringtone to it. And then again, it depends on the industry that you're in. If you're in the industry where this is something that's normal and standard, then you should totally do it for sure. But getting an LLC is important. And it just kind of helps you stand out, sets the tone for everything else that you're going to do in your business. I think because it's in Texas, it costs $300. So I always tell people, at least in Texas, when you get an LLC, they know you serious because you didn't drop that 300. Whereas some states is like 25 or 50. But you can it just gives you a nice little look. So, but also, by the way, if anybody has, I don't know if you're watching the chat or whatever, so if anybody have questions, just let me know.
Yeah, if y'all have questions, please questions, because last time y'all overwhelmed me with questions and I was trying to keep up. So y'all kind of quiet today. So if you got a question, let us know. Because listen, I guarantee you, if you have a business and you're still trying to figure it out, you don't know half of the things you need to know. So you might ask questions.
Right. And here's the thing. So the other thing is that getting your EIN number. One of the things that's super important about that is, like I talked about in the last video, your EIN number is like your business social security number, just the same way that you have one. And honestly, a lot of banks, now every bank have like the base rules, but some banks do add certain things and they have a little leniency on how they let you open up accounts. But typically when you go to open up a business account, they're going to ask you for an EIN number. 9 times out of 10, they're going to ask for it. So you want to make sure that you get your EIN number so that way you can set up a business bank account, which is important because you should not be commingling funds. And here's the thing. You shouldn't commingle funds at all, no matter what stage of business that you're in, because if you're serious about really being in business and being an entrepreneur and you really walking in your purpose and and following your passion, then you should want to do it right out the gate. So making sure that you do have your EIN and open up your business bank account, and that way it's separate. But here's the thing: once you get an LLC, you have to have a business bank account at that point anyway. So you can no longer. When I say commingle funds, so just for some clarity, commingle funds means when you have a personal checking account and you deposit business funds in there and you spend all the money out of one account and it's not separated, so you don't necessarily know and you're not keeping track of it either, so you're just spending the money. So that's what's called commingling funds, because it's kind of hard to pay yourself out of the same account because it's one account, so you can't really pay yourself.
You just running money.
Just spending
it come.
Yeah, so it's kind of hard to really establish a real foundation and a real presence when you only have one account. Now, one of the things that's really interesting is that, and it's not all of them, but some of the online payment processing systems, they won't even connect to a personal account. So you have to have a business account because you won't even be able to connect your business account. Their system to a personal checking account. So you kind of need a business account anyway. So that's that. So the other item that's really super important, which we just was talking about, is the business checking account. So that was the third item. So I talked about the DBA or LLC, which you should get out the gate, especially if you're using a name outside of yours. An EIN number, which is important. You can get that at irs.gov. But a business checking account, like when it comes to really branding, is about how people perceive you and how they feel about your business. And sometimes the smallest things can give off a different perception. So when you commingle funds, or you only have one account and you're not able to, number one, write a business check, or you can't take certain payments online, that's a reflection in your business. Because, yeah, I know we love PayPal and Cash App, but here's the thing about those is that most of them are still all ran out of the same account. And as depending on what it is, I would say for me, like I'm gonna be straight up honest, I was not a Cash App fan when it first came out, because I felt people was just like Cash App and everything. Like, you're not about to Cash App a whole catering job.
Oh yeah, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
Like, I mean, like, I'm not Cash Apping you $400 or $500. Like, send me an invoice. You know, everybody's like, send my Cash App. Like, you have to be able to track your funds and track your expenses. That's important. And so, let's be honest, most entrepreneurs, we are busy doing God knows what else in our business. So a lot of times we really are not tracking money the way we should.
Yes,
a lot of businesses closed in the first 1 to 2 years because of finances. Our ability to count and manage money get real interesting.
I've seen people burn through it. You're right.
Okay. So, I mean, and it is a contributing factor to why small businesses don't last long. It's poor management of money and in the finances. So having a business checking account, you just are able to, number one of the things I do that I always talk about to people about having one, that when you do have a business checking account, that gives you opportunity to build relationships with the people at your bank. That means you're meeting new people. You're growing your network because you're in there all the time.
Right.
Or you should be. If look, God willing, if things are going well.
Yeah, if you got the good change coming in, yeah.
You should be in there, or at least they should see transactions often. But though it gives you a chance to meet how to develop a relationship with your banker, develop a relationship with your teller. You never know. These people also may become clients depending on what you do.
Yeah.
Because they see you so much, or they know you because you bank there. So when you don't have a business checking account, you really lose the ability to build relationships with people who can really help you grow your business. Because at the end of the day, somewhere along the lines, that should be in your goals on how I'm going to grow and scale this business.
Right.
In your 5-year plan, your 3-year plan, your 1-year plan.
Right.
Here's where we started at. How do I plan to get here? So in order to grow or scale in any capacity, at some point you may require funding. So that means you really need a business bank account. So I try to talk to people about that part of it in a way that sometimes it's just not, you wouldn't think about. Because people don't think about the mere fact by having a business checking account that I'm able to really build relationships with people.
Right.
That's not something that comes to most people's mind. Or the mere fact that it really gives you the ability to do different things in your business, definitely get loans, be able to get grants. I will say this, just like with this whole EIDL situation that's coming up, I had a client who applied, and when she got ready, she couldn't even get the grant money because she didn't have she put her personal checking account on the application and they wouldn't deposit the money in her account because it wasn't a business checking account. So there's going to be, especially when you're dealing with the government, and they know the difference, obviously. So there may be times where like you really need a business checking account. And so what I do suggest for a lot of small business owners, especially startups, is like definitely bank at credit unions versus the big banks. That's because I feel like they're a lot more user friendly, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
They're much more helpful, and they don't care if you got $1,000, $100. they're there to, they offer a better level of support versus your big banks, you know. So, and plus, think about, I was paying Bank of America almost $16 a month for a checking account. 16 bucks.
Wow.
And it wasn't, like, I felt like, all right, 7, 8, all right, but 16, and I wasn't getting anything for my 16 bucks.
Not even a cozy, nothing.
Nada. But $16, 16 bucks, I think that's quite a bit for a checking account. Like, I had to dip out on them.
Yeah, that's
like
a lot of money.
all of my accounts are credit unions.
That's a lot of money. B. Michele.
What?
I'm looking in the back room real quick because I know we about to get into this, and then I got Miss FINETTA coming on later. But we got a small business in the back room. I've been knowing her for a long time, so she's been doing this business for a while. We just gonna bring her on while we're up here together and let her talk about her business and let everybody know the services they offer and everything like that. Because like
that's what's up.
Yeah, this is one of those businesses where, because a lot of other businesses get nervous because they kind of just starting, but I think she'll be comfortable because, like I said, she's been in business a long time. So I'm gonna call her in real quick, and her name is Lovey Jenkins. Well, Siobhan Jenkins now on Facebook, but you know how they change their name when they think they're grown. But I've been knowing her for a long time. Her and her husband there, and they have some pretty good businesses going on. And right now she's going to talk about lending hands, tax services, and I think loans. But I'll let her, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to bring to you right now Siobhan Jenkins with Lending Hands. Hey, how you doing?
Hey, how are you doing today?
Doing all right. So,
hello.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear. Let me take this
all
off.
Right.
I can hear you.
So, yeah, take that off. Yeah, so we brought you in today because we want you to talk about your company and the services that you offer and where you reside. Or you in Bryan College Station area? And you first introduce yourself to everybody.
Okay, well, I'm Lovey Siobhan Jenkins with the franchisee owner, me and my husband, Damian Jenkins. We own Lending Hand, Tax, and Business Services. We have 3 locations. We have one in College Station, we have one in Caldwell, and then we have one in Pearland. And we've been in business for 5 years.
Nice.
5 years. Okay, so what all services do you provide? And is it a certain demographic of groups you provide to, or just kind of let us know about that?
We actually provide many services. Tax consultant is our number one. That's what everybody knows us for. Tax consultant, credit repair, grant writing, and then we also instruct entrepreneur classes. So anybody that's interested in open up we don't want to say small business because you never know what God's gonna take you from. But if you decide that you want to start a business, well, we're the people that'll help you. We will help you from start to end, from when you need to get your tax ID, your EIN, and we also help you get grant writing and stuff like that for your business and a business budget. Because a lot of people start their business, but they fail because they don't know how to budget their business. Every time you get income in, you don't spend the income. There's a certain way you got to divide the income so that way your business can keep moving afloat.
And you know, right before you came in the back room, B. Michele had just said that. And what did you call it? You had a name for that.
What did I say?
No, B. Michele, you had a name for that when people just spend money that they make.
Oh,
commingling. Yeah. So that's a good thing. Now, would you say, this is a question I ask everybody, would you say that the COVID kind of made y'all work a little harder? Because I know a lot of people kind of really came out of the shell during the COVID. I saw a lot of businesses just boom everywhere. So would you say that kind of boosted you a little bit as well?
For me, COVID has boosted my business probably like 200%. I'm sorry that COVID happened. You know, I'm really compassionate to everybody that died, but it also enhanced people's ability. Like, okay, so it made them think, okay, I really want to do this. I'm going to try this. So it enhanced my business because I seen so many amazing entrepreneurs that I had never met before. And they had all these great ideas. A lot of them, like 90% of the people I help open and start their own business. It's such amazing how God gifted some people, but they never actually had the time because, you're working 60, 70 hours a week on somebody else's job, but now they're working for themselves and they're so fulfilled. So COVID has enhanced my business and helped me to enhance other business. And also, of course it did, because then now we're like, me and my husband, we used to be entrepreneurs and now we're franchisee owners. So that's a big step once you go from one location to 3 locations. So COVID has definitely increased our business.
That's a good thing, and that, like I said, that's a question that I ask a lot of people, and I've seen people that have been in business a long time. And normally, what I do is I kind of pull in people who just getting started, and then I have a lot of people who've been there for a while, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, and even me sitting back during COVID, I kind of sat back, Michele, and I was like, man, look, I got so much stuff I can do. If y'all know me, I just so much stuff. But I was like, I need to focus. I need to focus.
Focus on one. Well, you got 2 great talents, so you need to just focus on your 2 great talents.
Well, here's the deal. I don't know which one is great, but here's the deal. What I decided to do was pull back off what I do and build a platform for other people to promote what they do. So that way, you know what I'm saying, we can all be in this thing together. Because what happens is a lot of times is somebody tries to do more than the other person and more than the other person. And, and it's like we got so many people doing the same thing, and all of them are just spinning their wheels because nobody really knows exactly how to run a business. So with this platform, it really started from school. But I said, you know what? We got a lot of people who want to do business. We got a lot of people who have businesses. So why not we put a platform together to allow our people to get on? And because some platforms, you can't just go on a platform and talk about your business. And if you do, it's on KBTX at 5 o'clock in the morning and you get 2 minutes. And by the time in 2 minutes, they forgot what you said. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I feel like this is a good thing. And like I said, I've been knowing y'all for a long time, and I know that you've had lending hands for. I remember when you brought the name up, but that was probably about 8 years ago.
8 years ago, yeah, because we've been in business for 6. Yep.
Yeah. So, tell us where. Dr. E says expound on the grant writing.
Dr. E. Okay. Dr. E says, okay, so this is what it is. So the first thing we take into consideration is what type of business do you want to own? What type of business are you going to be faithful in? If you're going to be faithful in your business and you're ready to start your business, then there's 5 classes you must take. The first class, of course, is the startup class. The second class is where we help you design your website. That's with DMK Productions. The third one, we talk about credit. The fourth one, we talk about budgeting for business. And then the 5th class is the grant writing. Because a lot of people come in, they say, oh, I want a grant. Well, you can't just get a grant and you don't have a foundation for it. You have to have a website. You have to have a business plan. And then you have to have a business model. And then you got to have, and then of course, and we also work on credit because a lot of people, I'm not saying of color, but a lot of people of color and of other nationalities have been taught the importance of credit. And once they maintain their credit or get their credit score up, they need to maintain that credit. So once you get your credit score where you need to be, then we can maintain it. But then after you get all your ducks in a row, you completed all the classes. Now we're going to help you get a grant for your business. Then the reason why we really want everybody to get a grant, because a grant you don't have to pay back. A loan you have to pay back with interest, but the grant you don't.
And
there's grants out there for small business, big business, women-owned business, minority-owned business. There's a lot for that. We have a new group called Black Men Enterprise. There's a different grants for different demographics of people.
And you know, I spoke with
Hispanics too.
I spoke with a lady with the district. We were talking about some grants, and the main thing she said is something you said. Make sure before you get a grant that number one, you know what the grant is for. Number two, you know where it's going to go and you have proof. And number three, you have to have that synopsis to make people want to give you that grant. Because you can't just say, "Oh, I want to do a grant for all the hungry people." That ain't gonna work, you know. So you have to be specific. And if you're not specific, they'll shake their head. So you're right. You're right. And that's why I'm glad I get people on who know what they're talking about. Because a lot of times, you know, you get this misconception of things and people just kind of, you know. But anyway, real quick, let us know how we can contact you all, your website, if you have a website, your Facebook page, and all of those different important, because it looks like you're doing more than just doing taxes now. So we may have to have you and B. Michele come on and do a whole show together, because y'all both got a lot. So we're gonna let B finish it off tonight, but we may have to do that. But just give them the basic information on the tax services and everything that you got.
Okay, so our primary location is in College Station. Our phone number is 979-690-8290, and it's at 4040 State Highway 6 South, Suite 200. 979-690-8290. That's our College Station location. That's our main location, and we're located right next door to Stella Cafe for Old Graham Road. Okay. But our address is 4040 State Highway 6 South, Suite 200, College Station, Texas, 77845.
Okay. So what I'm
going to do website. I'm sorry.
Oh, you go ahead. I was just going to put
okay. And our website is www.taxprep.me/lendinghand. So you can email us, you can go on our website, you can make an appointment, and then we also offer right now cash advance refund loans. Cash advance refund loan is based on your tax return. So don't call me and say, I need to get a loan for $5,000. No, it's a cash advance refund loan off of your tax return. And you get it within 30 minutes. A lot of our clients have been getting them within 30 minutes.
Okay.
But we are here to serve the College Station location. We have a Caldwell location, and then we have a Perry location. So we have 3 locations to serve you.
So, and I wish a lot more people watching tonight. So y'all do me a favor. Y'all share the video as y'all jump off, because we need this information. And there are people who really think that's another thing. I built this platform because there are people who think they already know, and they're steady running in circles. But when we actually have the vital information, they refuse to accept it because in the mind, I already know what to do, you know. So, but what we'll do is, hey, we're going to definitely have to get y'all, because I need to have Mr. Jenkins on one night to talk about this fashion for these men too. But we're going to do that some other time.
He's ready.
Yeah, I know he's probably looking at you right now. So yeah, man, you know, but
yeah, that's exactly what he said too. Yeah.
So that's what we're going to work on. So everybody remember, Lending Hands Tax Services. You can get in touch with them at 979-690-8290. They do cash advance loan, refund loans. That means that it's against your taxes, I believe, right? That's the advance you get before you get.
Yeah, so taxes. It's between before you get your taxes, yeah, because a lot of tax refunds that have EIC will not be released until February the 14th.
Okay.
So if you need a loan in between that time, up to $6,000. The minimum is $150. The max is $6,000, but the average is $1,000. Most people get $1,000 loans.
Okay.
They're approved for $1,000 loan.
Okay. So ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Lending Hands Tax Services. Listen. Make sure I just had a finance company. I got Lending Hands. There is no excuse, people. And they also offer services here in town which are the same services that B. Michele talk about, and they're right here in town providing you with those exact services to help your business, your websites, all of those different things. So you need to contact them, 979-690-8290. Not just people who want money or want taxes, but those of you who want to kind of push your business and you need somebody right here at home to help you push that. All right. So thank you again, Miss Lovey Siobhan Jenkins. Tell Mr. Jenkins I said hello. We'll get on that show pretty soon, and I'll be letting him know. But we're finna get back in here with B. Michele, and then we got Miss Etta Marie later on. We're gonna talk about the good drinks and everything that we got going on out here in the city of Bryan, Brazos Valley, Houston, Dallas, wherever she got some things going on there right there. So, all right, it was good to see you and talk to y'all. We're going to share y'all's information because once we interview you on the show, we share your information. We push your page. All right?
All right, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. God bless y'all.
Bye.
Hey. So that's what I'm talking about. It kind of messed me up tonight because the people I got coming in, they've been doing this a while, you know. So those are the people that are easy to work with. They're easy because you don't have to draw everything from scratch, you know. I don't need a loan. Yes, you do. I don't need to do this. Yes, you do. So you can tell they kind of like the guy before and this young lady, they already kind of we were talking about, I forgot what you were talking about. We were about to get into the branding steps or the essential branding steps, I believe.
Yes. So actually the last thing that I was saying, part of building out your foundation is is bookkeeping. So that's really like the last part. Yay. See, there you go.
Right on. I told you, I got you.
I'm so proud of you.
Oh,
I'm so proud of you. So bookkeeping is a foundational tool. Like it will help you like really grow your business and keep you in line with your budget. It's kind of like she said, like if you got to know what's happening in your business so you know where you're spending your money at. So how much you spending on advertising, what are you spending on like office supplies and things of that nature, so you can clearly see all of that and basically how you want to make changes, what do you want to do for the next quarter. And I'm a type of person, I like to do quarters. So I have quarter one, what happened, and we'll see, hey, if this didn't go well, let's change it up for quarter two. We'll do this in quarter two or do this in quarter three. So that way, it's like when you break it down into quarters, it's a little bit more palatable with your goals versus which you should have a year. I mean, you should have definitely a year plan, a 5-year plan and all that. But like when you break it down into a quarter, you can totally look at your business and see where you need to increase your pricing at or decrease your pricing, or you need to add this or add something else. So bookkeeping with a good bookkeeping system or a good bookkeeper, because not everybody is, maybe financially can have a bookkeeper, but you can definitely have a bookkeeping system like QuickBooks or FreshBooks or Wave. Those are all viable systems that you can use to make sure that you stay in tune with what's happening with your business financially. Because again, the finances is the number one reason why most businesses do not last long.
Mm-hmm.
And so you cannot really go into this thing with a halfway plan. So you'll just have to hire a bookkeeper, but you can figure out how to use this software to do the same thing until you're ready. Because I didn't get a bookkeeper until maybe like year 4 or 5, but I learned how to do QuickBooks. So and then I had FreshBooks first. So I had FreshBooks, and FreshBooks is actually a lot cheaper than QuickBooks. It's like $6 a month. I think $10 for the high package. But yeah, so before I jumped into QuickBooks, which is like $35, $40 a month, but it comes with payroll and all that other stuff. So if you're not really ready for QuickBooks, you can totally do FreshBooks and make sure that you have a legitimate bookkeeping system together. So those are just some of the, if you want to put the flyer back up, those are just a few items just to get you situated out the gate. So these are some things you should do first to really build the foundation of your business.
So we're building the foundation, your DBA, your LLC, EIN, business bank account, and bookkeeping. Those are like the very
Essential.
Yeah, that's the most important. And a lot of people don't realize how important it is to even have a business bank account, like you said, because like look, I know for a fact I've been talking, and that's where I'm slipping at. I talked to my wife. I said, look, I need a business bank account because sometimes I get so busy. Even when I'm gonna tell you when I really needed it. I need it now, but when I was doing comedy, because remember, I was moving like every weekend. And I was like, wait a minute, hold up. Now I know I made some money last week. And what I would try to do, which was the biggest mistake, what I would try to do was budget off of my show money and budget it in with my regular job. And a guy told me, he said, hey man, let me tell you something. He said, if you budgeted that in together, he said, you will starve to death, because here's the deal. If I'm used to making it like with my job, my regular job, I'm used to making it. But this comedy thing is probably making 3 to 4 times more a week than I'm making in 2 weeks at the job. That's telling me I'm doing something wrong, you know? So now what I've started doing with my, basically, because all I do now is the videography and the photography, but the photography is more so freelance, but the videography is what I do. And right now I'm offering commercials for companies and businesses. And what I tell them, okay, well, I'm do this commercial. So when I do the commercials, I'm starting an account where this is my Q Visual Concepts money, you know, and that right there. Now, Q Visual Concepts and Q Productions is 2 different things. And then Quentin Samuel's money, you know, and then now we have donations. People are sending donations to this show. But what we do is we take that money, hold it for a giveaway. We may be, you know, doing different things to kind of maybe some lights, some, you know, just stuff like that. But I had to learn, because when you start blending that bad boy together, you eating up everything. You eating up everything. Yeah. So my wife had to teach. Now, one thing I will say, she's a mathematician. So
that's what's up.
She know that money. So if she see a penny missing or a dollar, you know, she like the deacons at the church. And that's how you gotta be. You gotta be like them deacons at the church. You know, church deacons can, if they find a quarter laying on the floor in the church,
they don't play that.
They know somebody dropped that out the plate. Hey, get that quarter right there. That was the quarter I was looking for last Sunday when we was counting that money at the business meeting. If we had that same mentality,
hey, you gotta have a plan.
Yeah,
like, you totally gotta have a plan and know. I mean, trust me, like it's hard. Like there's still elements where I'm still trying to figure out stuff and I'm changing up stuff. And it's like, once you figure out, you know, you get a good groove in what works, and you set goals, then you in that thing. So our next area is actually has to do with definitely like the heart and meat of brand development, which is who you are. And that could be from a personal brand level to the business. Who you help is obviously your audience and how you help. So the who you are part is pretty much figuring out, what do you want to be known for? In other words, like, what do you really want to be known for in your industry? Or what do you want your business to be known for? If you think about like how the 99-cent store, Dollar Tree, stores like that, where you go specifically there because of their cheap and it's a dollar, and they're known for having cheap stuff. Period. You go and let's say you go to Papados or wherever, you go to these places for specific reasons because they have developed their brand to be able to for this specific purpose. Okay. Whether it's the atmosphere, whether it's about the vibe, the service, the product, whatever it is, they've created a brand around this one thing or concept, should I say. So, but from a personal branding standpoint, who do you want to be known? Like, one of the examples I always give is it's funny because for somebody who don't have cable, so I was just running across stuff on Facebook, but think about it, Dr. Pimple Popper. I always use this as an example. Like, I don't even know the lady name, and most people don't know her name.
Pimple Popper.
But everybody know her as Dr. Pimple Popper. And you watch the show and you look at all these gross pimples that she popped. And I really can't even think of the lady, like her name, but it don't even matter because she's built a brand off of popping pimples. And that's what she does. That's her. So from a personal standpoint, figure out what industry, whatever you want to be known for in your industry, in that one thing or that niche, and like really build out a personal brand around that one thing or that level of service. Like, even tell people, like in real estate and financial service, because that's such an oversaturated field, but figure out how to carve out a niche in that area and create a persona around that. And it takes time. Like, I have a client that does IB. So she goes and she does like, you can, like, let's say you're intoxicated and you need to have your mind right by the morning. So you can come get this IB shot and it'll help you like kind of get over your hangover. So her business is called Ivy League Nurse. And yeah. So like, it's like B12, like she has all different types of IVs. And she has this really nice van. She just come to you, pull up, whole nine. So she's called the Ivy League Nurse. And so that's the name of her business. But I was telling her about, from a personal standpoint, you also want to make sure when you're out in public that you introduce yourself as the Ivy League Nurse. Mm-hmm. Because although it's the name of your business, but it's also part of who you are as well. Right. So it's a personal brand and then the brand of the business, which sometimes can be synonymous, but they also can be different. Like, the personal brand is you, the individual. The brand of the business is the concept, the niche, or whatever it is that you've carved out in that space. Mm-hmm. If that makes sense. It makes sense because that's what for years, forever, when I did Christian rap back in 98, 99, 90. Well, the first time somebody called me Mr. Q, I wasn't even old enough to be called Mr. Q. I was probably like maybe 18 or 19. Yeah. Oh, wow. And I started using it and it was MR.Q. And I looked on the internet at the time, it was Yahoo Chat, and so many other people had MR.Q. So what I started doing was I spelt it different, MIZTAQ at first. And then I started using MIZTAQUE, which is probably about 4 years ago. But I said that because even when I go even at the schools, kids know me as Mr. Q at the grocery store. Even on the radio, instead of them saying Mr. Samuels, they'll say, hey, Mr. Q, can we have you to? And I developed that name. So now it's like, they don't know my regular name. They know my real name if they see it on a certificate or something. Right. But it's Mr. Q. So it's almost like I have to make checks out that say Mr. Q because hey, Mr. Q, what's going on? You don't even know my real name, do you? Except, the people at home, they try to be a little different. Hey, Eugene. And I don't answer. I don't answer. They have a problem with that, but I see what you're saying, how important it is, because once people see you and perceive you as that name, that's just like, what's the rapper name? What's the rapper's name? Which one? I'm talking about not them little Uzi, little Yachties back in the day. Grandmaster Flash. Yeah. Can you imagine what they call Grandmaster Flash? What's going on, man? Or Biggie Smalls, or Tupac. They never call him by their real name, even though Tupac's name was Tupac. They just spelled it with a 2 PAC. Right.
But
No, but that's the same thing. So this is why it's important for you to figure out who, especially from a personal brand standpoint, figuring out what do you want to be known for. Like that may take some time for you to sit down and think about that as you start and you get going. But even in far as your business is concerned and developing, what do you want your clients or customers to really say and think about you? Because that's really where branding consists of. It's the perception and how people feel when they interact with you and what they say after they do. So that's a good main part of it. And it's whatever you do and how you do it has to resonate with people in some type of way. It has to have it needs to change them or have some sort of effect on them. And this is how you keep good, loyal customers and clients. So the who you help part is really important to your brand, because just like we talked the last time I was here, and I will say this probably every time I come on this show, is that out of all three of those are super important, but I do feel like the who you help has a little bit of an edge over the other two, because you really, really need to be in tune with your target audience. And you really need to understand who that is, because it's not everybody. And most small business owners don't even have enough money to market to everybody. So when you narrow down your audience, when I say narrow down, I mean understand if it's a man or a woman. How old is this man or woman? What does this man or woman look like? How much money does this man or woman make? Like, what are their spending habits like? So, you'll only figure that out kind of once you get started a little bit, and from market research from other businesses that's in the same industry as you are. But as you get going, you'll start kind of seeing what type of clientele come your way. And you need to make note of that. I'm gonna be honest, especially when I first started branding, I knew like, okay, it was just small businesses. And then I really narrowed it down even more to small businesses. And then we do personal branding, as far as like with like comedians. You are the business. Artists, you are the business. Realtors, the business really revolves around you. So those type of solopreneurs. So right. When we narrowed it down, then I narrowed it down really into a service. So we only work with small business owners and solopreneurs and helping them develop the foundation of their brand, period. That's our space. So anybody that needs help with getting their business set up, understanding who they are as a business, understanding their target audience, getting their messaging properly. These are all foundational things. Because if you don't know your target audience is, you just out here saying stuff, hoping that somebody catch it. But when you understand who your target audience is, your message is very specific to them.
Right.
And you can say things that they will understand and that they can resonate with. Like even when I do my posting for social media, I try to include some personal element to it, or at least tell a little bit of a story or give something in the post that can like, you know what? Yeah, you're right. So you always want to bring that element into your content, because if it's just straight, and it feels salesy all the time, it's not gonna catch. So when you really know who your audience is, you can talk to their specific pain points that they actually have. Like, and one of the things I'll say that's not necessarily, which is the how do you help part, which gets into like, how do you deliver the service and the actual service in itself. So how do you really help people? How do you solve problems? What problem are you solving? To be honest, you really should ask yourself that. Like, these questions should really be asked before you even get to the whole bank account, EIN number, and all of that stuff. You really need to establish and really get some solid answers to these questions before you even go and set the business up. Because once you set it up, it's off to the races. You out the gate now. And so you really want to understand who are you helping, who you are, and how do you help them. Like, really be clear on what service or product you have that will help. If you think about, I always you think about GPS when GPS first came out. Obviously, especially if you couldn't read a map. So GPS definitely solved the problem for all the people who couldn't read a map.
Right.
Okay. And it was handy. It was right there in your car. You could set it up on your dashboard. It came in different styles. But the main pain point is that now it gave you the ability to go anywhere and not have to worry about being lost. So somebody always got lost everywhere.
Right.
GPSs was for them. Because even right now today, I GPS everything still.
Hey.
Even here in San Antonio, I still put stuff in GPS because I just don't have time. It helps you save time and get to where you're going. So I'm pretty sure these are probably some of the things that they thought about when they figure out how is this product going to help people. Number one is going to help them save time. You can just type in and we gave you a direct route. If you don't know how to read a map, now you just put in the address and it'll tell you when to make the turn.
Right.
So if you think about it from that standpoint, think about how does your product or service really help solve your target audience pain points, and how is the service being delivered? So those are the three main core things that you always want to be mindful of at every level in your brand. And this is what helps you stay true to who you are. Mm-hmm. And to your business. Like, of course, you can make adjustments along the way and you grow and you change up some things. But those three things, even if you adjust, are a major part of who you are as a business. So it's important that you really are in tune, definitely with your target audience, and that you know exactly what their pain points are, because you want to come in from a place of like solving problems. So that's the whole purpose of being in a business. And that's one thing that some people fail to look at from a wide, more of a wide perspective, mm-hmm. is that you're really in business to help solve problems.
Right.
You're there to be of service. You're there to have a servant's heart when you think about it. Yes, you're making money along the way. Obviously, it's business. But the purpose for you to be in business should be to be of service.
Right.
And so when you run your business from a standpoint of I'm here to serve and I'm here to help. I mean, why do you think Chick-fil-A say what they say? And they say, how may I serve you? They don't say, how may I help you?
They're not like Popeye. What you want?
I know, right? But the whole concept of Chick-fil-A is about service. It's about, number one, good food, quality food, and service at the end of the day. And they believe in people. They believe in ethics. And so when you have a foundation of beliefs also that are in line with your audience, I mean, you can't lose.
Right.
And at that point, you need a good marketing plan. But when those core things are together, you win in.
So you made me think about something. We're going to have, like I said, we're going to have you come back. So we don't want you to give everything yet. But what we want to talk about, because I got another individual doing this second part, but I want to talk about, you mentioned marketing plan, and that's a good closing point right there. I want you to, I guess the next show.
Mm-hmm. We can talk about it on the next show.
Yeah, but it's the talk. I want you to talk about it for real, not just. We're not gonna rush it. We're gonna make you the whole show, the whole 2 hours. And I want you to talk about literally marketing, because a lot of people think they know marketing, they don't. This young lady I'm about to talk to on this next set, stay tuned and listen to her.
Okay. Because
she got some marketing everywhere. Every time you look up, she's somewhere. But it's what you've been talking about. You should find yourself at conventions. You should find yourself at vending spaces. You should find yourself here, there, everywhere. You shouldn't be, because you talked about that last time. You shouldn't be afraid to let people know, hey, this is my product. and this water is good, and it's called Pure Life water, and it tastes like the water out of grandma's faucet outside. You shouldn't be scared to tell people that, you know. But,
right. No, it's about a strategy, and I think this was talking about even before we close. Like even with networking, I did a live earlier this week. Telling me like networking should be a part of your marketing strategy. Like your marketing strategy should consist of a number of things. It's not just a word of mouth. Yes, word of mouth is great, but it always goes back to what are your goals and what is your purpose and why are you in this space?
right.
And what are you bringing to the table? And when you know all of that, then it's easy. Then you develop a marketing plan that coincides with that. And it should be filled with a number of things. It should be filled with from networking to events to promotion. So I got a good list. We can talk about a variety of things that can be done, and you don't have to do all of these things. You can pick out, like I say, I like to chop my year up and deal with it in the quarters. So in quarter one, maybe you do these things for marketing. In quarter two, you add this or you swap this out. You try something different. So, but you have to at least have a list or have a plan on how you're going to market your business. Once you figure out who your audience is, you know who you are, and how do you serve these people. The next stage is how you now going to market this.
Right. So y'all heard that. She said the next stage, and look, that's a good place to end right there. She said the next stage is how are you going to market this? Y'all, we apologize. We had a little problems with people getting in the rooms. I was giving out wrong links and all this stuff. I got like 17 shows booked already. So, but y'all, once again, give it up for B. Michele. She's going to come back. She's going to be like the branding coach forever. We going to continue to use her. So, I'm going to B. Michele. We thank you again, and I'm going to
You're welcome.
Yeah. So y'all remember. Y'all better see. They were quiet tonight. They probably looking
right?
They're looking at that capital stuff. Leave that stuff alone. Don't even worry about that. Just pray about it. Move on. We didn't do it, so don't worry about it. That's another whole. That's a whole.
Well, definitely be sure to follow me on social media. I do post a lot of business and branding tips.
Yes, she does.
And like articles and stuff like that. So be sure to follow me on social media at Coach B. Michele on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'll be putting some additional content up there for our brand talk series that I need to record a video because I was supposed to record one today.
Yes, ma'am.
But I might record it after this because
Yes,
I'm trying to get better about Mondays.
Well, you better get that done. You better get that done ASAP.
I know, right?
All right, B. Michele, we will talk to you later on.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. In the next conversation, you'll hear from B. Michele is marketing. So if you have a business, y'all need to tune in. Get off of CNN. Quit watching what's going on up there. Expand your business. All right, B. Michele, and thank you so much, ma'am.
You're welcome. I'll see you soon.
Yes, ma'am.
Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, hey, this is Quentin Samuels, aka Mr. Q. We want you to know that we want this show to keep running. So listen, if you're a follower, if you're a fan, if you're loving the show, we have a Cash App. The Cash App is $Mr. Q, MIZTAQ. If you would like to donate, you can donate $1, you can donate $2, you can donate $5, you can donate $5,000. It's all up to you. Whatever you donate, we make sure that it goes directly to our show. Also, we will put it in the pot for our cash giveaways. If you would like to donate and help us keep this show running and make it bigger and bigger and better, that we can have a platform for ourselves, $MIZTAQ. We'll see you then, and make sure that you are always plugged in.
Would you like to learn phlebotomy? Do you need to improve your current skills as a phlebotomist? Do you need to continue your education or training for a quick job? Then Elite Art of Phlebotomy Training is the place for you. We offer a 4-week training for those who want to become a certified phlebotomist. We also offer a 2-day fast track workshop for those who might already know how to draw or maybe just want a refresher course. At Elite Art of Phlebotomy, the goal is to provide both excellent phlebotomy training and patient care to all students to build their confidence in professional skills that is much needed in the healthcare field. Students will gain valuable experience in drawing blood as well as understanding the concept of blood collections. Our primary goal is to help students become skilled and exceptional with their art. We also provide CPR training for adults and children. So if you're interested in becoming a certified phlebotomist, call us now at 346-255-2192. That's 346-255-2192. Classes begin the first Tuesday of every month in Houston, Texas, and the first Saturday of every month in Bryan, Texas. Payment plans are available, and we also follow CDC guidelines. So contact Elite Art of Phlebotomy Training today, where phlebotomy is more than a skill, it's an art.
Smooth, refreshing, FINETTA Tea. Whether you drink from a bottle or poured in your favorite glass, you will still enjoy the taste of fresh fruit and ingredients that will keep your body happy and healthy. FINETTA Tea.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, and welcome back to Mr. Q's Plugged In Virtual Show. Listen, we have the entrepreneur herself right here from Bryan, Texas, Brazos Valley, Etta Marie. Ladies and gentlemen, hey, y'all want to tune in and share because some of y'all need some of this information. Y'all need that tea, but she probably not gonna kick off talking about the tea, but y'all need that tea too. How you doing, Miss Etta?
I am fantastic. How are you doing?
Doing pretty good. Do you have some of those plug-in things? You don't have it? That's fine. That's fine.
Is it loud?
Well, do me a favor. I'm gonna show you something. Go down to
Okay.
the bottom of your screen. Are you on your laptop?
Yes.
Go down to the bottom of your screen where it has that little cam mic thing.
Yes.
Okay, click on that.
Yes.
Click where it says audio.
Okay.
Click cancellation. Echo cancellation. You see that? It should be a check.
It's on. Turn it off.
Yeah, leave it on. That's good. That's good.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Is that better?
Oh, turn it back off. There you go. All right.
Okay.
So I heard a little bit of echo on it, but that's fine.
Okay.
So tell us about yourself, and you got a lot to talk about. That's why I needed to do a whole segment because you have a lot to talk about. You've been in business a long time, very long. You've had several businesses, a long time. So kind of tell us about yourself and where you're from and all of that and what you do and your businesses, your umbrella of businesses.
So first of all, let me tell you, thank you so much. This is an amazing platform that you've put together for people to get information that they could not afford to buy. Those two ladies that were on before me were simply amazing. And the information that they gave out and how they poured out, I mean, people are paying top dollar for that, standing in line for classes, registering for classes for that, and they're giving it away. And I really, really believe that that's exactly what we're supposed to do, especially in this hour. We see people that are trying to make it, and then we don't lend them a hand to try to pull them on up, so I think that's amazing. So to both of those ladies and the gentleman that was on before, I salute you tonight. Let's see. What do you want to know? I'm from Brenham. I'm from Bluebell Country.
You from out there where they had Listeria and ice cream?
Why couldn't you think about Brenham Cubs or Blend or something?
All I can think about how they destroyed that ice cream. That's all I think about.
Yeah,
That's all
that's exactly where I'm from. But guess what? Out of dark places come some beautiful things.
Oh yeah, because you
Yeah.
got out of there, no Listeria.
So if you did get Listeria, this is what you would need to run it out.
Right, you sure right. You are right. They
Yeah.
I hope y'all watching. I'm about to share this video several times. So
This is what you would need to run it out.
let's talk about, because I know you're was it cosmetologist hair? I don't know, salon hairstylist, salonist, salonologist. I don't know what they call it.
Cosmetologist.
Cosmetologist. So that entails hair and makeup and everything, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. And how many years have you been doing that? Like, I know it's been a while.
30 since I was 18 and I'm 48. So
Ooh, Lord.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hey, but you know what? That shows that you have kind of learned. You took years to learn the businesses, learn how to run a business, which shows why you can. A lot of people are not able to have a business and jump and open another business while they have a business or start another, because they don't know how. It's almost like I'd say, like, if I was videoing something, like, I know cameras so well, I can use any kind of camera. I can say, well, let me use this camera. Well, so that's kind of like, you've been in business so long that we've sit back and watch you and every time you do it, it's done, So
to God be the glory.
Yes, ma'am. So kind of tell us the businesses that you have, and see if you can remember. Start from cosmetology.
Okay, so I've had a salon on Brothers Boulevard for a long time. See, my son is 23, and so he was 3 when we opened that place. From there, I've always had a love for real estate, and so I would find anything to buy. I don't care what it was. If it needed rehabbing, cool, we'll get in there and do the work. And I've always wanted to just have real estate, so we could rent things out to people that could not get approved with these ridiculous applications and the requests that they make. Sometimes people get in some trouble and then they can't get out and find a place to live because now it's on their record. Well, I don't care about that. Let's go from right now forward. And so I went into that. And then I had a small restaurant inside of a store for a while. And it was called Fat Bellies, but I couldn't keep good help. Food service industry is some hard work. So couldn't keep good help. And so I shut that down. Then I went to, where did I go then? I sell a whole lot of things. A clothing store.
I remember the clothing.
Yeah, it's still standing. It's still in effect, but I don't own that anymore. But it is still standing and it is still in effect. The same store.
And see, the thing is, and that's what I'm saying, is like, there are people, it's almost like you can start a business and just leave it and it's still open. You see what I'm saying? They're like those are people who can establish. I wish I was able to do that can establish businesses and just say, okay, well, shucks, it'll be fine. This business will be fine. But everybody can't do that. So over the years, how did you learn the strategies of business? Did you study it? Did you research it? A God-given gift, or a combination of everything?
It is definitely God. Like, I had nothing to do with any of that. I was just following the voice that I was hearing. Habakkuk 2:2 instructs us to write a vision, and then to make it plain. You have to write it down and then let it become clear to you what you hear God, what I heard God telling me to do. Even now with this tea business, actually, the way that happened was so amazing. 2 years ago, in 2019 of June, my father passed away. 3 days before he passed away, I had just got an order in for all this. I ordered some roots from South Africa. I just ordered a whole bunch of stuff because I'm going to make these health food drinks. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And then 3 days later, my dad died. So all those roots went bad because I just didn't do anything. I had these boxes with these bottles in my house and didn't do anything with it. So that was 2019. Roll around to March of 2020, when COVID was just, hitting so hard and nobody really understood what was going on. I was one of the ones who was affected by COVID and infected by COVID. And so I started then trying to remember this recipe that God gave me for an immune boosting, detoxing, energy giving, blood pressure regulating, cholesterol, regulating tea. So I remembered all of that. I wrote it down while I was in this house sick with COVID. And I started ordering all this stuff. And of course, everything was delayed because of COVID. People weren't, at the shipyards anymore like they were before, and then things couldn't come into the country like it did before. Long story short, after I was well, before I got well, I started making tea just from things that I could get my hands on locally. And I was like, I feel better. I was watching people around me die. I was watching people around me be very, very sick. And I was very sick for sure. I didn't have this punk COVID that other people had that, that's what I call it. Oh, I didn't have any symptoms. I didn't have any of this. No, I was crawling literally in my house on the floor, trying to get from one room to the next. You think you want a big house until you're sick and can't walk through it.
You had coronavirus.
Yes, I did. Wow. Yes, I did. And so earlier you had asked a young lady how has COVID affected her? Well, this is what I will say. She didn't have COVID, the lady you were talking to. Mm-hmm. But as far as business is concerned, whatever is in you, pressure presses it out. I don't care. You can be an orange. You put some pressure on it, you're going to get some orange juice. An apple, put some pressure on it, the juice is going to come out. And inside of there is nutrients, and inside of there is everything that you need to sustain life. So everything that I do was shut down during this period. The beauty shop was closed. The school was closed. I couldn't go any place. Even after I was well, things were still shut down. But I was making this tea for myself, and other people that were getting sick, I would take it to them, and they were telling me how great they were feeling. And I was giving it away at first. So then when I got serious about it, I got some people over. I was like, come over here. I want you to taste this tea. Tell me what you think about it. And at first it tastes like, I don't know, turpentine. It was just so nasty. And I just started making little tweaks to it and all of that. And making it legal. I had to get a commercial space. This is one thing that we do as a people. Even when we are really good at what we do, you hear people say, oh, well, do what you got to do. No, do what you're supposed to do, because make your business legal is what I'm talking about. When all this bailout money came for these paycheck protection money and all of that, we couldn't get it because our businesses were not set up properly. Check that out.
I see you.
We couldn't get it because our business.
Now where they come from? Where they come from?
There's a young lady by the name of Brittany. I don't know Brittany's last name. I'll tell you in a little bit. I got to find it out.
I like that.
She made me these. And then I have Natalie's making me some as well. Natalie Samuels.
You know what I like? I like her. I know her. You know what I like? I like that you and like I said, we gonna talk. I like that you kind of like me. I like to utilize everything that I have around me. Everybody has their own unique specialty.
Yeah.
And once people realize that everybody has their own unique specialty, like for instance, I know guys who do photography. I do photography, mm-hmm. but I got my own style of photography. Mm-hmm. And there are a lot of other guys that got different styles. But what I try to tell some guys, I say, hey, do not try to look like the next guy. Yeah. Because guess what happens? If you come up to me and say, hey, Q, I want some headshots, you may go to the next man and say, hey, I need some family photos. You may go to the next person and say, hey, can you do me some product shots?
Mm-hmm.
Because you want to utilize everybody in a different aspect. So that I just said that because I noticed you have you work with everybody. You can, you know what I'm saying? And that's another thing that gets your business running as a smooth engine. Like, so say if you didn't have this first person that was available, you can say, hey, I need you today to do this because this person, and it's always good to have that.
Yeah, when you think about a bouquet of flowers, it's not just one flower that's in that vase.
Bunch of flowers in that vase.
It's a bunch of them in there, and you have to learn how to do this harmoniously, And if people can get to a place where you understand that there is no competition, we all on the same track to move forward, right? And it's okay. There's so many hairstylists in Bryan College Station. There's so many people that are making health food drinks and all of that, but there is a market for all of us. Just tap into who you looking for. Tap into who you're looking for, and I just believe that it works like that.
On that tea, y'all, let me tell you something. Reason I'm able to put her on this show like this and be comfortable. I have drank the FINETTA Tea. I done sipped the FINETTA Tea, and let me tell y'all something. Woo! It does a lot of things.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Like she had in every different bottle of tea. Like one tea helps you. Why don't you tell them about the tea? Why don't you tell them about the tea? Go ahead.
So the number one thing that it's going to do is build your immune system. That is so super important, especially now. Nobody wants to have COVID. Nobody wants to even have a cold. Because if you cough around somebody, now you might get slapped.
What I
know. So it's going to build your immune system. It's going to cleanse and rid your body of toxins, clean your colon, make you feel like you could run through a brick wall. It's just energizing, and it tastes so good. And all of that stuff is natural and it's organic, and there's nothing artificial in it at all. And you would think that something that tastes that good, something's artificial got to be in it, but it's not. And so like the one that I'm drinking tonight is Berry Christmas, and it has elderberry, blackberry, blueberry, strawberry in it. And it has 16 different roots and some spices and some herbs and all of that. It is not soda. It's not, sweet tea or anything like that. So you have to have a broad palate. When it hits your tongue at first, you're like, oh, wait a minute. What was that? But let it just sit there for a moment and then just drink it. But the point is to make your body feel amazing. We work so much and we put trash in our bodies. And we do all these wonderful things outside of our bodies. We make sure our children are great. We make sure our spouses are great. And then when it comes to us, I'll just give me a burger and some fries.
Yep.
And then that's the type of stuff that stops us. And I keep hearing people tell me, some eating healthy is expensive, and that tea, $7 a bottle. I don't know. But here's the thing, you're gonna spend the money somewhere. So you can spend it on this side while you have control, or you can spend it for co-pays for medication and doctor visits. And
I was about to say that.
So you're gonna spend it someplace. And while you are in control, you can choose where to spend it. I do want to say.
Wait. I didn't mean to interrupt you. We were talking about. You were saying something. I just completely interrupted you. You were talking about your facility or the building, or you were talking about something that was essential to have for your product, to get your product. You were about to say it. I forgot. It probably come back.
Well, I started making it in my house at first.
There you go.
So that's cool as long as you just giving it to people around the way. But when you start knocking on Whole Foods doors, Brazos Natural Foods, Village Foods, when you start knocking on HEB doors, there's a certain way that your product should be made to be called shelf ready. First, you need to be licensed with the state. So my license does not, I don't have anything from the health department. I have something from the state in our commercial kitchen that's at 2606 South Texas Avenue.
Real.
And what I have is a manufacturer's processing and packing licensure from the state. That means I can make the product, I can package the product, and I can distribute the product. So I don't have to have a third party to do that. I can do it all. Now, certain stores require you to have certain things, UPC codes, barcodes, and all of that. There's so many different websites that you can go to, but I have some specifically that I can give to you for you to put up later on, because I'd have to go get them. You can get like 10 barcodes for $250. That's amazing. And you can use those for that particular product in several different stores, you know. And so, yeah, that's really good. It also matters what type of plastic you use. For people that are bottling beverages, it matters what type of plastic you use to put your product in. You don't want to use something that is going to taint your product. You don't want to use something that's going to give your product a taste. Every now and then I can buy a bottle of water and I can taste the plastic. You know, I don't know if any of you've ever experienced that, but you should have certain things that should be in place. Yeah. So our commercial space is where we make it, and we make it fresh every day. 2606 South Texas Avenue. That is, and sometimes we have pop-up shops there, and there are other vendors, other restaurants that use that space as well. And so everybody will get together and we'll do, you know, collaborative effort to bring people in, you know, have like a food teak. And it's just wonderful.
And you know what? That's another thing that I like. I hear myself like 3 times over there. But that's another thing that I like, because that's another way to actually have a successful business, is to be willing to work with other people.
Yes.
A lot of times where we mess up is that we're not willing to work with other people. And I tell people all the time, if you go drive your car has millions of components.
Yes.
And I guarantee you, one component is not going to outdo the other, because if you don't have a steering wheel, you can't steer the tires.
Right.
You know, if you don't have an engine, you can't crank the car. The most important part of the car is the engine.
Yes.
And the key. You can always, if that ignition is connected to the engine, you can crank it. It ain't going nowhere. You know, the engine will start. But so people got to understand is, that's good to hear you say that, because like I said, a lot of people, when you ask them to help out and do something, oh man, you know, I've had guys tell me, you know, man, I got my own thing going, and, you know, this, and I'm like, hey guy, I can help you. You can help me. I can help you. And I feel like even when you have the research, or when you have the training, and when you have the credentials, those are important things too.
Yeah.
And people don't understand, like, you may have a way to get in, and we're working together. You may have, it was always, I don't know if you've ever been to certain places where back in the day when I was little, my uncle had this jacket, and it was called a members only jacket.
I remember those.
Yeah. And see where that came from. It was a club back in the early 1900s, or like 1960, 1950, somewhere in there. And they had the little jackets, the member only jackets. And if you had a jacket, you couldn't get in. But if you had the jacket, if you went in with somebody that had the jacket, you see what I'm saying?
I do. Yeah.
A lot of people don't understand this, whereas you can bring people in, you know, and they don't want to see that part of it. So that's why I'm glad, like, you have a lot of people. I've seen the people in the pictures, and some of them people I know, and I'm like, some of these people, big time business.
Yes.
Sitting around big time business folk. That's why I was trying to get up there that night. I was like, oh boy.
Yeah. God has really, really blessed us. First of all, I have an amazing team. I don't do this by myself. I have an amazing team, hands down. They are the most brilliant people that God has ever placed in my hands to help me to carry something. These people are simply amazing. And when we're at these different events and these people are there and they're all excited and they're falling all over what God has placed our hands to do. That's a beautiful thing. I'm always like, oh, you can come up here.
Yeah. I'm telling you.
I know it was your birthday and y'all was trying to celebrate, but
Yeah, we were trying to get up there because I said I'm going to try this year to venture out a little more. And like I said, what I really want to do this year is I want to take Q's plugged in virtual show to pop-ups. I want to show up at because people need to see, hey, this is I'm gonna catch you in your element. Okay, this is where she processes this, because guess what? You can't get the news station all the time because if it ain't negative, they don't want it. So why not Q's a virtual show pop up and say, hey, I'm here right now with Etta Marie at her factory, showing the process of this tea, or with whoever, and that's what my plans are, because like I feel like anytime you're working, and we all work, like I said, we all work together, and it's a great thing. So with okay, I got a question.
Mm-hmm.
How hard was it? Because I know you got your product in some stores now.
Mm-hmm.
So what was the process? Because most people think you can just run up there and say, hey, can you put this in the store for me? And they're gonna sell it.
No, it does not go like that at all. I've gotten several no's from stores that are now carrying it, right? Brazos Natural Food was my first yes, and they're closing now. The 15th is their last day. They were open 32 years, and now they're closing.
Oh, they've been alone.
Yeah, they're closing their doors forever. But I'm so forever grateful for them giving us the opportunity to just put it out there, right? And so you don't just go in there and can you put this on the shelf? There is a process of making it what's called shelf ready. You have to do certain things. Number one, if it's a food, there's a certain licensure that you should have to even process the food. Some things you can do from home forever, and the state is cool with that. But those things that you cannot do from home, then you need to have a commercial space. That's number one. You need to have a commercial space. You've got to have a certain amount of insurance on it, because if somebody consumes your product and you kill them, or they get gravely sick, you've got to have something that they can come after. Here is why we have LLCs, because you don't want somebody to take your house. You don't want somebody to take your car. You don't want somebody to take what you may have in the bank. So you have insurances, and the LLC protects all of your personal assets. So the company is sued and not you being sued, personally.
Yeah, so make their money.
Yeah. So the things that those young ladies were saying earlier, so important. And I hope that anybody that did not have this information before tonight, hopefully they were jotting it down. There is a process. But I will tell anybody, if God has given you a vision, run with it. I don't care what anybody says to you. I don't care how many people are doing the same thing. I don't care how many people tell you that you should stop, just go get a regular 9-to-5, all of that. Okay, have a regular 9-to-5. That's okay. Maybe you need that to sustain the everyday bills. But what he's giving you over here, put your hands to work on that every day. And some things happened that caused me to make a decision to leave a job that I'd been on. I mean, I just smooth walked off.
Oh my!
And jumped deep into this tea. I mean, I had no store prospects before that moment. And I'm speaking to every entrepreneur who may be contemplating quitting a job, not sure.
I'm gonna let you say.
All these doors that have opened for me recently, they didn't open until I disconnected from where I was. When I disconnected from where I was, then God started, I'm talking about busting doors open for us. I didn't have time before to do it. But when I walked off that job, the day that I walked off that job, the very next day I was like, okay, God, it's me and you. We got to do this. All right. Okay, come on. And God started giving me things to say to people. He started giving me stores to call. Call the store, ask this information. Call the corporate office, ask this information. Walk in this store with your product in your hand. Give it to the manager. Give it to this person. Give it to that person. So recently, that was last week, me and my assistant went to Houston, and we visited with this guy that I had spoken with over the phone. He told me that he owns 17 convenience stores in Houston, and I was like, okay. I mean, I couldn't see this product at first being in a convenience store, But why not? So we go down and we meet him, and I'm prepared. You know, I'm walking in expectation. So I go down there with 2 pallets of tea and left every bit of it with him. So he bought it all. And he was like, I don't know what store I'm going to put it in. I'm just going to check it out for fine. He bought the tea. Now it's in his hands. He's going to distribute it. But none of that would have happened until I walked off that job. That's faith, though. I'm not telling anybody to walk off of a job, but if the Lord has placed something in your hands to do, it's very difficult to do it when you're strapped to something else. When something else has your time and attention, it's difficult to breathe life into your baby when you're carrying somebody else's. It's difficult for you to feed and nurture your baby when you're giving life to somebody else's. But the moment that God presented an opportunity for me to break, I broke. And I was like, did you just do that, girl? Yes, you did. And I do not regret. I do regret something. I should have done it sooner. I should have done it sooner because he fast tracked us. You're talking about from October to January, 6 stores. Who does that? Who does that? And it has nothing to do with me, but everything to do with who God placed around me, everything to do with the vision that he gave me, everything to do with the instructions that he gave me, how to do this, go talk, go say this, go do that, wear this, even down to what you put on. In all your ways, acknowledge him, and he'll direct your path. And I was, yeah, go ahead.
There's a young lady on here. I got a little echo again there. There's a young lady on here. I call her a young lady. I always mess with her. Dr. E, she's yesing and wow. You already know. She yesing and wowing, and you know why she's yesing and wowing. I'm going to have her come on the show because we're going to talk pretty soon. We're going to talk about mentoring and childcare outside of the school system.
Okay.
But yeah, so to watch people do that, and a lot of people are scared. A lot of people, like I ain't told many people, but I even got another job. And I was kind of afraid I was trying to make some decisions. I was like, man, I've been doing this for so long and I don't really want to do anything else different.
Yeah.
So, but here I'm going to show you what happened. What happened? I'm about to shift this now. And I hope people, hey, look, y'all don't leave me now. Don't leave me if I get a little churchy on. Look, so I was on the phone one day and I was talking to my wife and I said, well, hey, I'm going to make a decision to do something because it's going to make more money for me. I was still saying doing the same thing, but just a different job title. And I said, well, I'm going to do something and this is going to make more money for me. Okay. So I was like, I was like, I really want to do it, but I don't know if I should, but I got a little nervous and this and that and the other. And I was like, well, it really could do, but what if COVID hit and then I had to go home again and I'm not getting paid because I'm So guess what? My wife called me. I was on the phone with my dad. My wife called me and said, hey, somebody told me to tell you that this position over here, if you want it, let them know.
Wow.
But you know what that did? I wasn't afraid to do that because that was directed toward me. That wasn't a choice I was trying to make on my own.
Okay.
That was God saying, okay, check this out. I'm going to show you what you need to do. I know what you want to do, but watch this. Come on over here.
Yes.
Come over here. And then the same monies that I would have been making on that position I was going to take is more than that at the other position.
Yes.
It still allows me to stay in tune with what I'm doing and stay on the path of working with children.
Yes.
And all of those different things, but it's more on a positive versus while I'm used to working with behavior and always getting on kids and all this.
Yeah.
It's okay, but I want to teach our kids to be successful, which is what I try to do outside, of the job. So, like you said, a lot of times we sometimes you got to jump. Like Steve Harvey say, how do you know if you can't fly if you don't jump?
If you don't jump.
You see what I'm saying? How do you know you're going to drown if you don't jump? And then Mr. I think it was Eric Thomas, E.T. He said he met this man at the water. And the man held the water. And he said, how bad do you want it? Until you want it as bad as you wanted to breathe when I had your head under water.
Yeah.
You don't want it bad.
Yes.
So people got to be. You just taught some people something. Don't be afraid. Like if you. And now we're not. Look, wait. Now look. This is disclosure. She just said we're not telling you to quit your job. Don't be. Because if you are not sure, like we're not saying if you selling when you selling bottle tops, you quit your job to sell bottle tops. Don't do that. She's basically saying if you have a plan, it is a vision. You've written it down. You know it's been proven to be successful. It is working. And if you see that there's a point where you can actually survive and you can make some money and be successful off of it, don't be scared to jump. But if you're not sure and you don't know what you're doing, don't do it. Because she went through 30 years of process. Now, 30 years of process to do all of this because she has the know-how. And you go to people like Miss Etta. You go to people like B. Michele. You go to people like Siobhan Jenkins. Because I posted earlier today, I said, if there are people who have 5 to 10 years of experience, or if they're degreed, those are the people that should be helping. You know, I'm not saying ain't nothing wrong with if you've been doing it for about 5 or 6 months, 7 months, a year, and you want to teach me a little something, you can learn from everybody.
Right, you can.
But if you've been doing it a long time, those should be the ones to step up and say, hey, let me help you. Let me help you get to where you want to go. And if you notice tonight, I'm going to tell y'all another thing. Y'all notice these are women who working. One man, but we had 3 women working. What they tell y'all? These women ain't lazy.
Lazy.
Women, I'm just telling them.
I don't even know how to spell lazy.
I try to tell people, and I sit up here and watch. If y'all sit up here and watch my wife work, man, please. Her Cash App going off every day. Mine may go off once a month, but you know her that bad boy going off because she working. Not only is she working at a regular job, but she comes home and she works. So that's what I'm glad to see too. When you said I done got unprofessional, phantom, a pick all them. When you said that about that, because I noticed Dr. E just rang out. Because I remember when Dr. E made a decision, and right now, you know, hey, she said, hey, I'm going to do it. I'm going to jump, take that leap. When you take that leap, and I've watched the FINETTA Tea. I've watched you. You know, I watch you.
Yeah.
Hey, Q and Natalie, y'all taste this. Tell me what y'all think.
Yeah.
Tell me what y'all think. You know, and it's, man, that's a story right there. And who knows where else it's going to go? Because like you said, you're putting it in stores. Eventually, you're going to have to probably get packing trucks and company trucks, and because it happens like
on the way. Of course, it's on the way. Listen, when you work for yourself, so for anybody who has a vision and you want to carry only your own vision, when you work for yourself, don't forget you work harder when you work for yourself. Like there are no breaks. There's no time off. There is no I'll do it later. Procrastination is your enemy when you are an entrepreneur, because time that you can be making progress is eaten up by sitting idle, doing nothing. Procrastination will always be your enemy. And that is number one, what I fight. So every day I make a list. Like I was making a list at 2:00 this morning about things that I needed to do today. You gotta make a list of what you need to do, because I don't care how smart you are, how brilliant you are. Sometimes your memory is only as long as your sharpest pencil. If you don't write that down, you will not remember it. So if you don't write with pencils, we never put these down. Put it in your phone. And as you go throughout your day, you knocking off your list what you have to do and making sure that you're getting it done. People are depending on you to be successful. If you are a parent, you got kids, you don't want to take the leap because you got to take care of them, fine, work part-time and do it. But you would be so regretful if you don't do it. I don't have a lot of regrets, but one that I do have is not putting me first long ago. Long ago, I should have done that, but I was doing something else. You know, I was helping somebody else. You don't want to do that, okay? So when you work for yourself, you're going to work the hardest. You're going to work the hardest. You should work the hardest because whatever it is that God is giving your hand to do, you want to see success come out of it. So you're the one now who's working the overtime. You're the one now who has to write the list, do the list, check it twice. You're the one who has to do that. You're the one who has to make sure that everything is taken care of. There is nobody else. So if there is failure, it is in your obedience to your list. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I get down to the fourth thing on my list and I'm like, I want to go home. I'm tired. But if I go home then and my list is not complete, that is still facing me tomorrow. There are deadlines that need to be made. And you have these deadlines, so you've got to make them, especially when people are depending on you. So today, so my assistant's brother-in-law passed away. So of course she can't be with me. She's being with her husband and their family, as she should be. But I felt her absence because I had to get all that tea together by myself today. No problem. I know how to do it. That's another thing. Don't you ever have a business and somebody that works for you know your business better than you. That's dangerous. That is dangerous. Don't ever do that. You may as well you're cutting your neck from the start. All right. So know your business inside and out. You should be able to do it by yourself. You shouldn't have to, but if you had to, right? Like you shouldn't want to do it. Excuse me. You shouldn't want to do it alone. But if you had to do it alone, then you can. So the processing and the packing part today, I did alone, no problem. Then you train people to do it the right way. So I got all that together today, delivered that tea with ease. I did it with joy in my heart because this was something that was in my head that's now I can see it. So some things don't come to life until you start speaking them, until you start putting your hand to do them, writing lists, making lists, checking them, making sure that you're doing your best to make sure that your list is taken care of. Simple things like returning emails, making phone calls, returning text, that kind of stuff sometimes can prove difficult for me. I'd rather somebody else do. Let me go over here and do this.
You sure right.
Okay. Yeah. So look, eventually I get to it, but that could be the one email that you needed to push it through. That could be the one phone call that you needed that could be the yes that you've been asking God for, and you don't return the call, or you don't return an email, or you don't return a text. So make sure that when you're working for yourself, you know that you work the hardest for you. Don't be mad about working hard for you. For you. Your thing is, we can't hear you.
Oh, yeah. I figured I couldn't hear me because I couldn't hear my little echo in the back. I was like,
okay.
But that was good what you said, because a lot of people that you're speaking, because she's speaking to y'all. She's not speaking to me. She's talking to y'all. Because I found myself in a position where I've helped so many people do things. Natalie and I have sat and watched. We have helped people. Even when I was younger, I would help other people versus build my own. And somebody walked up to me and said, man, hey, you know how much potential you got up there? I'm not worried about my potential right now. I just want to help these people, So, but the biggest fear is when you start to help yourself, then people say you're becoming selfish. But how do you think Steve Jobs got successful? How do you think Mr. Bill Gates got successful? Mm-hmm. That dude up there that we having issues with, when he was a businessman, he showed, look, one thing he has that a lot of people don't have, he can push himself. That man pushed himself. Yeah. Look, if I could be on the internet every day for 4 years straight, at least 4 or 5 times a day, he told us, I'm going to be in the news. As long as I'm here, I'm going to be in the news every day. And he's been in the news, whether it's positive or negative. So he worked on himself. And if a lot of people, if y'all realize what she just said, is it's okay to work on your vision. Work on because only you can work on your stuff, because you let somebody else work it, they'll take it from you. It's been known to happen to people. There have been record labels that people have taken from other people because they knew the label, they knew the business, of the person that started
That's right.
the business. So you don't, like you say, you don't want to get caught up in okay, worried about this, and you put so much time in somebody else's,
Yeah.
you're not putting time in your own, and you're lacking. Like me, I'm gonna tell you, for instance, when I would do graphics all the time, I don't do it a whole lot now, but I would put more time in everybody else's stuff than I would put in mine. I throw a flyer together, boom, this is my event. Or
Yeah.
I'll throw this together, this is mine. Or I'll throw this together. Everybody else's, I'm taking out time. And not just because they paid me, just because I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna take out time with theirs. So if people see it, I won't get a bad name, but not thinking I'm doing the same thing for myself.
Yeah.
So that's a very important point right there. Always make sure that it invest. I'll add this: invest in yourself, because you've done that.
Yeah.
You've invested, and a lot of us are afraid to invest in ourselves.
Yeah.
So it's that's real important.
So think about what could make whoever's watching tonight, whoever's listening tonight, think about, he was just talking about investing. So think about what could make your product better. The way that it's viewed, what could make it better? Do you have issues with your graphic person, your photographer, your stylist, whoever's putting you together before you go and make presentations? Sometimes you have to switch things up, just pivot. And one of the things that we do is we call ourselves being loyal, right? And we stick with things and people who are no longer serving where we are now. So just because Miss Mary Beth did your hair when you were 7 years old, and it was cool because she was doing a press and curl, okay, but now you need your hair cut, you need this, you need that. And so it is okay for you to make a move. It's okay. You got to learn how to be loyal to you, to your star player. So at this juncture in your life, business wise, what can you do to make your brand better? What can you do to make sure that you have everything that you do? You need to hire the coach that was on here before? What do you need to do? He's talking about investing and making sure that you have exactly what you need, the way that you need it, when you need it. What do you need to do? And just as a woman, as a mother, there is nothing more important than me leaving a legacy for my granddaughters. That's what's important to me. You can work on a job 30 years. You cannot leave them that job. But if you create generational wealth, you can leave that to them, right? And then teach them how to manage it. Like, I don't want to leave JC $10 trillion without teaching her father and her how to manage it, because they'll just throw it away. So while we're working this and while we're building these businesses, take your children and your grandchildren and let them watch you do it. Let them look at what you're doing. Let them model after you so they'll know how to handle it. Because that's what happens. We die and we leave all of this for our kids, and they run through it like chickens running through the corn, right? They run through it. They don't know how to handle it. So what do we need to do? Create generational wealth, and then teach your children how to continue to build. How do you think Walmart's keeping going? The people that founded it, they're dead. But somebody watched that business model, and somebody's been able to keep it going. Same thing with your business. Same thing with your business. And so invest in yourselves. He's exactly right. And from an avid shopper, I used to be. I bought what I wanted to buy when I wanted to buy it, but it was putting me in poverty. If I bought one dress and I loved it, if it came in 20 colors, I need all 20 of them. That's ridiculous and senseless. And that's not making mature, grown-up adult decisions that's going to help my family later on. So you got to not deprive yourself. You got to sacrifice. You got to teach yourself discipline. You got to say, do I want this dress, or does my company need a new, I don't know, new tires on the van? Do I want this dress, or do I need new labels? Do I need a new logo or whatever? Invest in what is going to give back to you. Dresses are not going to give anything to you except a cute picture. Invest in what's going to give back. All right.
So look, y'all, she's talking some good stuff here. What we gonna do here? I'm gonna play this commercial again. And let me tell y'all something. You know what's crazy? This commercial is simple, but you know why it's so simple? Because if you talk to Etta, she can explain her tea herself. So she don't need a big commercial to explain. It tastes like this. It looks like that. It looked like this. You know, whatever. So anyway, we're gonna take a real quick a couple of commercial breaks, and also tune in Wednesday, and I'll let y'all just boom. We'll be back.
Wait, I want to tell you one more thing.
Oh, we'll be right back.
Okay, all right.
Coming right back.
Okay.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mr. Q, aka Quentin Samuels, and I want to invite you here Wednesday night, January 13th at 8 p.m. on our show, because we will have a special show for you. We will have a young CEO named Samuel Williams, who is the CEO of Emerald Isles Organic. It's actually a tea company. He will be here to speak about it. We're going to talk about herbal health. We're going to talk about the immune system, and we're also going to talk about organic tea. So make sure you tune in. Also, don't forget, we will also have our Black Business Spotlight. So tune in with me Wednesday night at 8 p.m. right here on Mr. Q's Plugged In virtual show. Make sure that you're plugged in. Ladies and gentlemen, hey, this is Quentin Samuels, aka Mr. Q. We want you to know that we want this show to keep running. So listen, if you're a follower, if you're a fan, if you're loving the show, we have a Cash App. The Cash App is $Mr. Q, MIZTAQ. If you would like to donate, you can donate $1, you can donate $2, you can donate $5, you can donate $5,000. It's all up to you. Whatever you donate, we make sure that it goes directly to our show. Also, we will put it in the pot for our cash giveaways. If you would like to donate and help us keep this show running and make it bigger and bigger and better, that we can have a platform for ourselves, $MIZTAQ. We'll see you then, and make sure that you're always plugged in.
Smooth, refreshing, FINETTA Tea. Whether you drink from a bottle or pour it in your favorite glass, you will still enjoy the taste of fresh fruit and ingredients that will keep your body happy and healthy. FINETTA Tea.
All right, we back. I had to do that commercial break right there.
I love it. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, try to make it professional as possible for the people. You know, they can't sit up.
You are doing that.
They can't watch too long without getting tired in the eyes, you know. So yeah. So go ahead. You had something I didn't want to.
So a couple of months back, I started a business Bible study. And at first it was just for women. And it's predominantly women that come anyway. And it's just called Women Who Want More. And what I've been teaching are biblical principles and practices for business, because a lot of us do business, but not the right way. And sometimes we don't walk in integrity. Sometimes we don't do things right. And so, and sometimes people don't know what to do. Sometimes people have no idea how to do it right. They do what they've seen before. And I am not knocking anybody, because before I had a salon, I was doing hair in the kitchen. But how long do you do hair in the kitchen? You know, how long do you, whatever it is, how long do you do that at the house before you commercialize it and you can really get what you're worth, you know? And even the steps to how to build it. We've had special guests to come on. The special guests that came on, one was a banker, and the other one had taught about how to completely build a business. One last week taught about, so I'll do a Bible lesson that pertains to business, and then I have a special guest that comes on, and then they talk about what they do and how they can help each person that's in their room build. Last week we talked about budgeting. You know, how do we spend money? As most of the time, it's not that we don't have money, it's what we do with it. Like, you get your check, and the first thing you do is say, I deserve a new so-and-so. I'm gonna go buy me something. Well, you didn't pay your bill over here. You know, so it's just a way to do things. And so sometimes we don't know how to handle the money that we have in our hands, and it's not producing and doing for us what we need it to, because you're not handling it properly. you know. So all these businesses that you were talking about just popped up during COVID, all of that was already inside of us. But when that pressure came and jobs were shutting down and there was not even a place you can go and apply for a job, then you had to create one. And so so all these brilliant people that have these beautiful businesses now, I want to invite you to the Bible study. It is at 1808 G Brothers Boulevard in College Station. The outside says Siblings Hair and Nail Salon, but soon that's going to change because I'm revamping all of that. I'm pivoting. I'll still be there, but in another capacity. I'm strengthening that which remains and just doing something different. And soon and very soon, you'll see a commercial about that too.
Oh, yeah. And listen, y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all, if you have a small business, if you have a business, whatever business it is, and you need some advertisement, y'all let me know. Let me know. She said that I had to plug that in, but I'm gonna plug it in later. But y'all let me know, because here's the deal.
Let me plug it in. You are amazing when it comes to that. So that commercial that you guys saw just a moment ago when he was saying smooth FINETTA Tea, that is cute. Yeah, that was so beautiful. And so one thing that he said a moment ago is that he works really hard on other people's things and not so much on his. Well, I do know that to be true, because when he was doing that, he was like, I'm going to do a commercial for you to put on social media. He sent me like 10 of them. And they were all good. I was like, okay, I like this, I like that, or whatever. But he was taking his time and putting his all into it. I know his lovely wife was helping him because of how it was going. You know, somebody else had to be there to do that. And I just appreciate the gift that you are, you know, the gifting that both of you have. And that when it comes together, it's beautiful like this. Even looking at your background right now, I'm like, is he in the studio? I love it. It's beautiful.
And let me show you something. I've never shown anybody this, but let me show you something. I've never shown anybody this, but
Okay, I got it. Yeah.
and see, here's the deal. I was telling the other guy, a lot of times you got to utilize what you have.
That's
Like
right.
I think I did a show one night, and Nick Nallen was sitting next to me, and they thought we were in two separate locations. We were sitting side by side. We had two separate mics.
Yeah.
You know, two separate headphones. And it's almost like what I'm starting to do now is, like you say, I'm starting to take out time to say, hey, if I want to, it's like this. If I want to build a platform for my people, I got to make sure the platform is platform worthy. And I'm not, like you say, I'm not trying to I don't like to throw shade, as they call it, but I see a lot of people on social media with these virtual events, virtual shows, and it's a professional show, great speakers.
Mm-hmm.
But when you look at it, it's like and that's why when I send the instructions, I say, hey, make sure you turn your device this way. Then
right.
I kind of teach people, because you have, and people moving around and things glitching. What show am I watching? What is their name? Mm-hmm. And I said, now, if you want to be professional, if I want the people to appear to be professional, I got to be professional myself. But yes, I just thank those people who allow me to sit back behind the camera with these crazy ideas and put them out there. My wife tell you yesterday, I went viral. I erased the video. I did some crazy stuff with my hair because I was bored. I couldn't go outside.
Woo! Let me tell you something. So I saw that one. I commented and I said, Billy, no D.
I saw it. I
was like, what is he doing?
I saw it. Listen, I get to the point sometimes where my creativity my creativity literally beats me up. Like, ask my wife. And there are a few people I've heard talk about this, but my creativity beats it, literally boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I stayed up last night till about 4:00, and I was doing these little commercial add-ons and stuff in this thing because I was like, man, let me do something. And you probably will see some more before Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
But like I say, like you say, it's like now it's coming to the time where I want to take out time and do this and invest in time and effort. And the reason now is I'm investing in my time and effort to help other people, but I'm helping myself first.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying? So,
yeah, you've got to. Even when we're flying and before the plane takes off, the stewardess is giving us instructions.
Yep.
And she tells you, in the event of an emergency, first put the oxygen on your face. That's what she says. Put it on your face first. Because if you're not good for yourself, you can't help nobody else at all.
And you know what else they ask you? If you those certain seats on the plane that's real.
If you scared, don't sit down there.
They say, look, if you sit here, you gotta help everybody off the plane in the event of a crash. Yeah. Oh, Natalie said she can't take credit for any of that. You know, don't believe Natalie, because listen. If look,
all I know is somebody was pouring that tea, somebody was dropping fruit. I was like, oh my God. Yeah, I love that.
I did all that myself.
Wow. Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, she's helping him.
This is what happens. There are tools for that. I thought you were talking about just allowing me to do it, because sometimes listen, y'all, sometimes I get crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Natalie sits up there and watch me like,
wait. Somebody's calling me through Facebook. Really?
Oh, wow.
Okay.
But she sits up there and watches me like, and she just watch. And sometimes she just say, hey. And one day I'm going to do a show just literally talking about myself and let people know where this head of mine goes.
Yeah.
She just told you. She said his brain does this because yesterday I was walking around in circles. She was like, can you just tell your brain to go to sleep? But that's a good thing, because if God gave you that creativity, eventually something's going to come out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe like you have all this talent, these teas and all of this stuff. And you didn't know why you were buying the roots. You were probably just trying to support Dr. Sebi or something. But you don't know. But eventually, look what it come out to be. And like I say, eventually, you probably won't be surprised. But I'm telling you, these are businesses. I watched a guy, and I'm trying to remember the name of the business. It was what was the thing? It was something simple that we all use now. And I remember being a kid watching this guy use this on TV. I was laughing. And now everybody and their mama buying one. What was that? It was Billy Mays. He was advertising something. I was a kid though, and nobody had it yet, because they had just came out of invent whatever. So that's what happens. And now when FINETTA Tea gets as big as Blueberry, what you call it? Well, Bluebell. When it gets as big as Bluebell, you know what I'm saying? You can say something else came out of Brenham other than Bluebell ice cream.
So look, I was watching a commercial the other day, and so once I see something, it doesn't go away, right? Like, and it starts talking to me.
Right.
So I get that not being able to go to sleep because you're doing, Mm-hmm. So I saw Serena Williams, and she was doing a commercial for a beverage.
Yep.
She was doing a commercial for a beverage. I think it was Revolt or something. Mm-hmm. And I was like, what? I'm going to have this in her hand. I am going to do that. That is going to happen.
Yep.
That's going to happen. Serena Williams is going to be on TV guzzling down this drink.
And guess what? If not Serena, some sports, you never know. I'm telling you.
No, Serena.
Oh, you want Serena? You don't want Venus?
I spoke it. Serena.
You don't want Venus, because Venus on the commercial too.
Venus is great too, but her sister has more influence than her.
Yeah, Serena do got more influence, even though she don't comb that hair too much. But she good. She good. But on her commercial,
don't be my girl.
On her commercial, she said, I'm the only. What she said, everybody knows me by one name or something. She was saying, and then she was making reference to the drink. But yeah, I seen that commercial.
Yeah,
I seen that. Yeah.
And so
that would be great.
you get your amazing product in the right hand. I don't care what your product is. You put it in the right hands. And here is what part of that scripture, Habakkuk 2:2, after it tells us to write the vision and make it plain, then it goes on to say, so that heralds can carry it and run with it.
Yeah.
Like a carrier, like a newspaper, like, so Serena's gonna be my herald. HERALD.
There
Yeah, I got that. I was like, okay, Lord, okay.
it
So
is. In front of your face. You saw it.
yeah, I saw it, and so
But I'm telling you, a lot of people, like, you see that and somebody be, man, whatever. But in your mind, you already know what it takes. All it takes is just that one time. Hey, taste this.
yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you, I've seen people talk about this one guy. He talked about how he had these shoes and he made these shoes and he wanted somebody to play basketball in these shoes.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was it was a player back in the day. It was an old school player. The Converse, Chuck Taylor.
Wilt Chamberlain. I remember that commercial.
Yeah. He wanted the man that initially created that shoe. He wanted somebody to, and Wilt wore them shoes. He wore them shoes in the game. And guess what? Boom. And that's all it takes. You take that FINETTA Tea and be like, be at a tennis match.
Yeah.
Take this down there. You don't know how it might happen. It's just, people don't believe that because a lot of people, they don't dream like they don't. And it's a difference between having a dream and a vision. They don't visualize it like that. I'm not gonna say dream. I'm gonna say visualize, because dreamers sleep. If you dreaming, you sleep.
Oh my God.
If you're having a vision, you awake.
Wide awake.
Yeah.
So let me tell y'all something that I would do. I'm not telling y'all to do this. I'm just sharing my story. When I would go into Whole Foods, I love Whole Foods. I would go into HEB. I love HEB as well. I would set my tea on that shelf, take a picture of it, and then I take it down and I leave with it. But I kept saying, one day I'm not going to leave with this tea. One day this tea is going to remain on this shelf. I would go in stores, put it on this shelf, take a photo of it, and I would go home and I would study it. Because if I can see it, it's going to manifest. Like what you see, what you want to see, you start saying it. So I would say stuff like, oh, my tea is sold in stores. It wasn't yet. It was not yet, but I was speaking those things that are not as though they already were. You don't let anybody intimidate you into fear to the place where you can't see what God has already told you. So who do you believe? Somebody telling you can't do something, it's impossible. Serena's going to have FINETTA Tea in her hand. And this video from tonight that will be on YouTube is Q is going to interview her about this video, because he's got to tell her that we talked about her. He's got to tell her that I'm speaking this into existence. Serena Williams is going to have FINETTA Tea in her hand, and he's going to interview her. We can't hear you.
Oh no, I said, no, she gonna be plugged in. She gonna be plugged in.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah,
so I was doing that. I'm all in stores. So my friend told me, I was like, I sent her a picture. She said, girl, you don't go to jail. But I was like, that's my product. I took a picture of it on their shelf, in their cooler where they keep the expensive stuff, where they keep the good stuff. I would do that, take a picture, put it back in my purse and leave.
Listen, you got it down, and now look at you. You done started already. It started, ain't stopped. It's just beginning.
Yeah.
Just beginning, where you can put, where you standing by. Where is it at? I'm gonna show it to the people. Where is it at? I was laughing at this picture earlier today. Because I was like, I need some pictures. But the picture I had, you were standing right there by the shelf in
Village Foods.
You were standing by the shelf in Village Foods, and I'm trying to see. Hold on a second.
And that was after they had told me no.
And you know what?
And I didn't stop.
Watch this. Let me show folks. Folks think we joking. Folks think we just playing around here.
That what you're about to show is after they had told me no. Yeah.
And there it is. Right there in Village Foods.
Yeah.
But then now, if you go into Village Foods, a whole shelf full, right
Yeah.
there,
Yeah.
right there. You had to restock today, did you?
Yes, I did. That's where I was before this show. Yeah.
Wow.
I was in there, and there was a new young lady. Well, she's not new to the store, but I've never met her before. When I went in there, of course, I had on another hoodie like this that had FINETTA Tea on it, and she said, "Oh my God, I get to meet you," and I was like, "Uh-oh, wait a minute, hold on, wait."
Wow.
So I started talking to her about the tea. She works there, and she wanted me to inform her about the tea so that she can correctly inform customers. So I gave her a class on the tea, and we started putting it on the shelves. Tonight I put it on the shelf myself. Normally they do it, but I wanted to do it myself. It's just something that happens when my hand is wrapped around it. I'm talking to God. I'm praying about it. I don't do this on my own. This is not me. I'm not that smart. Not at all. I'm obedient, but I'm not that smart. This is all God's doing. This is what he says to do. And it's nowhere near where it's going. Eyes have not seen, ears have not heard, neither has it entered into the hearts and minds of man what God has for us.
And you posted this right here. It says in 2021, Etta will become a millionaire.
Yeah.
And listen, folks, if y'all could grab a hold of that,
Mhm.
and people have to understand that you have to speak it upon yourself. The Bible talks about that.
Yeah. Mhm.
Speak those things that are not as though they were.
Yes.
You know, and a lot of people, oh, you just lying. No, the Bible says speak those things that are not as though they were. And when I was little, that's what I would do. I would do that when I was little. And I tell people all the time, like my wife will tell you, I'll say, hey, this is what's gonna happen. This is what's gonna happen.
Mhm.
Since 2021 has came in, I've had so much stuff happen.
I love it.
That if watch this, can you imagine? Can you imagine praying? Well, praying about something, and then the next week somebody say, "Hey, man, here you can have this."
Oh my God!
It
Yes.
just happened to me 2 weeks ago,
Mhm.
and the week before that, I had a man say, "Hey, man, I had a man. I'll tell you what it was. I had a man tell me, he said, hey man, you see that little camera you got right there? That camera you got? Now, mind you, these cameras ain't cheap.
Right.
Said, yes, sir. He said, do me a favor. He said, come by my house sometime. He said, I got a camera and a whole bunch of lenses just like that.
Wow.
He said, you come by the house, pick them up. They here. Ain't nobody gonna come get them. They here. You know what? When you sit back and you just people don't understand, when you just pray, you just pray and walk away. That's what my dad always say, pray and walk away.
Right.
Oh, Lord, please, Lord Jesus, please, Lord, Jesus, please, Lord. They had that deacon at the church, please, Lord, they would please, Lord, please. You got to do that.
He was tarrying.
Yeah. But you pray and walk away. And what happens is, it happens. I can tell so many different times when this happened. That's a whole nother show.
Yeah.
Pray and walk away. But you're right, because if you, it's like God, he already know what you need and he know what you want. And he know if you can handle what you want. And if you can handle it, okay, I'm gonna give you FINETTA Tea. Boom. And then what's so profound about it? Most people don't even pay no attention. It got your name in it.
Let me tell you a story about that. So I was being clever one day. And when I'm saying clever, I'm not talking about smart in the head. I was being sassy. And I was saying, oh, well, you fine in your name, Etta. Just put that together, right?
I figured that's what you did.
Yeah. But yes, the hoodies are for sale. But that was in my thinking that I was doing that, right? So later on, while I'm working on another business, I typed in FINETTA. And FINETTA means Jehovah's increase. I was like, what? Wow. That wasn't me that came up with that name. I thought it was, but that was God. Mm-hmm. Jehovah's increase. And Jehovah increases. And that's exactly what he's doing. And he's not doing that so that we can get all we can and can all we get. No.
And if y'all don't believe her,
You see that?
that's what it means.
Isn't that crazy?
I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that. And I was like, but you see how divine it is? It has your name in it.
Yes.
ETTA, and it's spelled that same. That's almost scary, almost even.
Do you hear me? Yeah, most definitely.
But hey, I'm telling you, that's how you know it's things are divine order. And I tell people all the time, you know how you can tell when things are meant to happen.
Yeah.
When you do it, my daddy always told me, he said, if it happens with ease, you have to work hard, but it still happens with ease. Meaning you ain't got to push yourself to do it. Meaning it's basically drawing you. Like this show. I just like to do it, you know, and I'm like, when we do the giveaways, I just like to do it. And we've been blessed on the last few shows. The last show we gave away $400 that people gave. This didn't come out of my pocket.
Yeah.
People gave. And the more we do that, the more it comes back. And we never tell who the person is.
Yes.
We never let it. If they want to let somebody know, that's fine. But we never tell it. And I believe even doing a platform where we're allowing these businesses to come in and talk, I believe these businesses are going to be prosperous.
Yeah.
You know, because they're not afraid to let people know, hey, this is my service. This is what I offer. You know. So yeah, you got anything else you want to tell us about Miss Etta, or
just to people who want to jump. You can't think about it because it'll never make sense in your flesh. Like it'll never make sense in your natural mind to jump. What makes sense is that you can see where your money's coming from. What makes sense is that you know you're going to get paid on the 1st and the 15th. All that makes sense. But God does not. Like he doesn't live in our thoughts. He doesn't live in the way that we do things. He doesn't live in the way that we announce, you know, this is how I would like to live. God don't care nothing about that. I mean, it was evident when he shut the whole world down for 2 months, right? Even people with billions of dollars couldn't buy toilet paper. So it doesn't matter that, you know, what you have or anything like that. If God is giving you something to do, please, by all means, trust that he's going to bring it to pass. If you walk in obedience, he says, I withhold no good thing from those who walk upright before me. Your behavior has to be upright. I'm not saying perfect. That's not what he meant, because that's what the cross is about. We're imperfect people, right? So, but walk upright before him. Write the God here. This is what I believe you're saying to me. And if this is what you're saying to me, provide a way. He turn around and tell you, quit your job. Trust me. I was like, what?
Walk out.
Yeah. So I just want you guys to be encouraged. Don't let people discourage you from your dreams. People that are having nightmares in their own lives, you don't let them discourage you from your dreams, telling you that you can't do something, or if I was you, I would do this. Stay away from those people that tell you what they would do if they were you. They're not you. They are not you. And God will give you something to do that makes 0 sense to anybody else. I mean, it make no sense at all. But that's how he operates, in his own timing, when he wants to do it, how he wants to do it, and who he chooses to use. And one more thing, and I'll be quiet. Stop discounting people that are around you that don't talk much. There's a blessing in those types of people, Stop discounting people that are around you that are not deemed to be the smartest people. Stop discounting those people, because God will place the perfect people in your past, in your path. He'll place the perfect people in your path to carry your purpose. So let him do it. You don't have to. I didn't have to look for him. I'm looking now, but I didn't have to look for people to carry this. They were right there saying, just like he said, it's going to come. You know, God, where he leads, he'll provide. Where God leads you, he will provide for you in that place. There's no way that I could have done this without Miss Nicole Mathis. without Miss Clarice Tates. These are some amazing women. They're smart. They listen. They handle their business. There's no way I could do this without them. No way. And we're out at these places, and they're all over the place. They use their resources. They use their resources to help me to get to where we are today. They use their time to help me get to where we are today. This is not an Etta show. It's not. This is all God's doing. And if you be obedient and if you listen to what God is telling you to do, you will eat the fruit of the land. But you've got to be obedient. You've got to listen to him. You've got to discipline yourself with finances. You've got to do that. Everything that you see, you should not buy. I don't care what you want. I don't care what you desire. Walk in obedience. Listen to God. And faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. You won't see it at first, but it's there.
She didn't preach this evening. Can somebody stand up and bring the offering plate from the back right there, Sister?
You are so funny.
Sister Bertha May, bring the offering plate.
Yeah.
But listen, y'all, if y'all y'all have listened tonight for these 2 hours, it's only been 2.5 hours. I thought we were on there longer than that. From 7:30 up until now, if y'all have listened, you've learned quite a bit. What I want y'all to do is start, when y'all see this video, share this bad boy. Look, we about to have some contests coming up. We about to have some. Look, I got the t-shirt lady in the house right here with me. So I'm about to have some, I call it paraphernalia. I'm about to have cups, cozies, giveaways, and all of that. But look, the only people that will be a part of these giveaways are those who are tuning in, those who are sharing the video. Because guess what? Why would I give something to somebody who ain't been around? Here, man. Here you go, man. But then we still do our giveaways, and don't forget we do our giveaways. But listen, y'all, I want y'all to make sure y'all are tuning in. Remember, we have our Cash App. If you want to donate, look, matter of fact, look, I'm gonna show you something. I got this thing figured out right here because I knew what I wanted to do when I was doing what I was wanting to do, because I was doing what I was going to do when I was wanting to do it. So did you understand what I just said? You understand what I just said? I know. But boom, y'all see that right there? Cash App right there at the bottom of the screen. Ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to help us with this Mr. Q's virtual show, I have a lot of big plans, and the big plans that I have are bigger than me. It's bigger than me. And they're working, and it's easy to do. It's easy to do. So with people like Miss Etta and people like Shay Johnson, I got another pastor, those who have allowed me to even do a commercial for them, those who've allowed me to do. I'm thankful that they might be thankful that I did it. I'm thankful they allowed me to do it, because what it does, it helps me enhance my skills, and it helps people to say, hey, I can offer you this and I can offer you that, And then when FINETTA Tea becomes a $1 million company,
it already is.
Like, oh man, look, you see that commercial? Remember that commercial? Yeah, man. Because I feel good about that stuff. People don't understand. You just feel good about that. To see, it's almost like it's almost like when I was a kid in school. I did art. People don't know this. That's something. I'm so old now. My fingers start cramping up. But it was a joy. I didn't care about winning. I didn't care about the ribbon. It was just a joy to go into the art gallery doing those Brazos Valley art shows with the kids to see my painting. I was like, oh, that's mine. I was probably up 5th place, 3rd place, whatever. But my picture was able to be on the wall versus being in a stack in the corner.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So that's just, look, I'm just telling y'all, man. But like I say, we were glad to have you tonight, because I wanted people to kind of hear you talk about your business. But then you got that preacher was about to come out on you. Y'all didn't know that. That's what y'all didn't know. That what y'all didn't know right there. See, I shocked some of y'all didn't know that. Y'all didn't know that. That preacher was gonna come out. When that preacher come out, it's over. I done seen it before. I've been around. I've been going with for a long time. I probably, Lord Jesus, a long time, some years, at least 10, 12 years.
Oh yeah, more than that.
Longer than
Yeah.
that. So that's why a lot of these people I've had on here, I've been knowing them for years. So I know what they're doing, and I know where they came from, and I know the struggles, and I know and when you know somebody's battles and struggles of what they did to get where they are,
oh God,
it makes you feel a lot better to even just sit back and talk, because you know what the people are gonna get. You know what the people are gonna get. Yeah. So we glad you came on tonight.
It's been my pleasure.
Yes, ma'am. So listen, tell us where we can get those teas at. If we can't get them, are they still at the not the Brazos Valley, because they still got something over there, or
no, they're closed. Friday is their last day. So
but you still have them at the Village Foods.
Village Food, yes. Village Foods has them. The address there is 3030 East 29th Street, right next door to Fresh Start. 3030 East 29th Street is where you can go and find that tea. Also, I still sell it directly. I don't want to be too big that I can't touch my people, and so that's where you can get it from. My phone number is 979-703-2383. And along with this amazing tea, we still do sell all the body garments, the waist trainers, and the compression garments, and all of that. You couple that together, and you get an awesome detox that's going to make your body feel amazing and reshape your abdominal area. I will say, if you buy that extreme, don't drink that and go to the bank. Don't drink that and go pick the kids up. Don't drink that and I'm gonna run down here to the Dollar General. Don't do it. Don't do it.
And let me tell y'all something. The good thing about it too is during COVID, this situation we have is very important. And that's why I had this show and the one I'm going to have on Wednesday. The young man, he's 20, I believe, and you might want to tune in and check him out. He's 22, 23, and he's the CEO of this company called Emerald Isles Organic. And they're from Montserrat. So they sell and they grow the same stuff that you put in your teas.
Yes.
They grow them at his house in the backyard.
Yeah.
So that's why it's important. These shows are very important because right now, y'all, we care about y'all's health. We care about the health of our people because guess what? They're not going to tell us this. They're not going to tell us that you can get up and drink elderberry to build your immune system. They're not going to tell us that you can drink yarrow to flush out your blood. They're not going to tell you that you can drink pine needle tea. Nobody even knows that you can drink white pine needle tea. I just got some. It flushes you literally. If you had any type of bacterial virus in your body at that point in time, when you chug that, they're not going to tell us that. Why? Because they're not supposed to. Y'all will catch that later on.
Listen, here's the thing. If that got out, these pharmaceutical companies will go under.
Lose money.
It's all about the pharmaceutical companies. And if you listen, ladies, check this medication out that they give us versus what they give other people. They'll give you medicine to make you impotent. They'll give you medication to make your hair fall out and all of that because they don't want you beautiful and they don't want you reproducing because we produce brilliant people. Yeah. It's plain and simple.
You heard it right there. They might even kick this video off because I said what I said, but I said so. But but anyway, y'all, we want y'all to be informed. And like I tell you, I'm researching all types of platforms just in case Facebook decide they don't like me no more. I'm researching there's like 20 different platforms right now that we don't even know anything about, but they always emailing me. Roland Martin said it best. That's why he was put off television. That's my mentor. That's why he was put off television because they could not understand. They couldn't stomach what he was saying. But like I say, we want to help our people. And when I say help our people, that's what I mean. I'm not going to try to water it down just because somebody said, well, I feel like no, because our people need help. You know, we talked about mental health in the Black community. And just last night, a young man from my city, father was killed. He was mentally ill and the police officer shot him. So why should we not talk about this stuff? You know, so we glad you came in again. Oh Lord, DJ Pat. Oh, okay. I thought he talking about I want my hair. I don't know. You gotta
leave that blood pressure medicine alone if you want your hair, baby.
Hey, listen, let me tell you something. But like I say, get your FINETTA Tea. The women, if you want to get your men, you got those thing for men.
Compression
Too,
garments,
yeah,
yes.
because I got one in there, and boy, it squeeze you like this. You can walk
Yeah.
like this.
Well,
But,
it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt.
Yeah,
But
but boy, when you take that bad boy off when you get home,
yeah,
that's another that I'll let the
Yeah.
doctors talk about that next time I do. But so we were glad to have you on,
Yes,
and like
sir.
I said, hopefully we'll get everybody to understand and everybody to kind of listen to what you said, and also y'all purchase that FINETTA Tea. If you have not purchased it, please purchase it. And I'm not saying that just because I helped with the commercial. I'm saying it because I drank it, and I need to get some more. But I've drank it, and it helps with just about anything you want it to help with. My wife's drank it, my sons have drank it, we've drank it, and I drank it by the I drank it.
Yeah.
So ladies and gentlemen, thank you again. We thank you again, Miss Etta, FINETTA Tea. We thank you for tuning in. So you'll have some more stuff coming out pretty soon. So we'll just probably revisit you again, so you can kind of tell us about that too. But we thank you for giving us those nuggets. I'm going to give some announcements, and I'm going to get up off of here. But God bless you. Thank you once again, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Good night.
Yes, ma'am. Ladies and gentlemen, you had it right there tonight. We had an awesome night. We had our spotlight was Mr. Nikki Bell. We had Lovey Siobhan Jenkins, and we also had the branding coach back, B. Michele, who will be back next month talking about marketing. And we had the awesome Etta Marie talking about her FINETTA Tea. Listen, you don't want to forget that name. It's so easy to remember. FINETTA Tea. Ladies and gentlemen, remember, this is Mr. Q's Plugged In Virtual Show. And on Wednesday night, this Wednesday, we will have a young man coming in talking about Emerald Owls Organic. And like I said, he's from Montserrat, and his name is Sam Williams. And right now, I'm just going to run this ad while we get ready to get you up out of here. And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, hey, this is Quentin Samuels, aka Mr. Q. We want you to know that we want this show to keep running. So listen, if you're a follower, if you're a fan, if you're loving the show, we have a Cash App. The Cash App is $Mr. Q, MIZTAQ. If you would like to donate, you can donate $1, you can donate $2, you can donate $5, you can donate $5,000. It's all up to you. Whatever you donate, we make sure that it goes directly to our show. Also, we will put it in the pot for our cash giveaways. If you would like to donate and help us keep this show running and make it bigger and bigger and better, that we can have a platform for ourselves, $MIZTAQ. We'll see you then, and make sure that you are always plugged in. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mr. Q, aka Quentin Samuels, and I want to invite you here Wednesday night, January 13th at 8 p.m. on our show, because we will have a special show for you. We will have a young CEO named Samuel Williams, who is the CEO of Emerald Owls Organic. It's actually a tea company. He will be here to speak about it. We're going to talk about herbal health. We're going to talk about the immune system, and we're also going to talk about organic tea. So make sure you tune in. Also, don't forget, we will also have our Black Business Spotlight. So tune in with me Wednesday night at 8 p.m. right here on Mr. Q's Plugged In Virtual Show. Make sure that you're plugged in. All right, ladies and gentlemen, hey, we're glad that you tuned in tonight, and I want to let y'all know that we're glad that everybody tuned in and all of those people that came in. I hope you got some great information from them. So, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to tune in Wednesday night right here on Mr. Q's Plugged In. Always remember that we do have our Black Business Spotlight. Also, as well, we will have different professionals to come in and speak with you on Mondays and Wednesdays. In February, we're going to have our Valentine's Day giveaway. So we're going to come back with that. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Mr. Q. Once again, make sure that you're always plugged in.